Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
People think they know us, so wherever we go. Okay! Out on the streets, yes, out on the scene. Wrestle the junkies, baby, living like kings.
Yeah.
Running around with jagged knives. Better hide your children, cause we're killing tonight. Wherever we go, wherever we go. People think they know us, so wherever we go. Wherever we go, wherever we go. People think they know us, so wherever we go. Okay!
I can't learn much about the audio. All right.
Come on!
Thank you.
We don't need love and we never pretend. So don't you try to come to us, cause we don't need friends. We videotape every crime that we do. We will send you a copy, baby, when we are through. Wherever we go, wherever we go. People think they know us, so wherever we go. Wherever we go, wherever we go. People think they know us, so wherever we go. Okay! Wherever we go, wherever we go, people think they know us, so wherever we go, wherever we go, wherever we go, people think they know us, so wherever we go, wherever we go, wherever we go, people think they know us, so wherever we go, wherever we go, wherever we go, people think they know us, so wherever we go, wherever we go, wherever we go.
Wherever we go, Brian.
Everywhere. And wherever we
It's
go.
not even over.
All right.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Is it over? Okay. No. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to the show. Poorly Played Stream is here with you on a live Wednesday afternoon. Brian,
Oh, yes.
thank you for joining me. We've got a guest in the background.
Right, we do. Check it out.
Special
Hi.
guest. What's up, Mason?
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
You may recognize our lovely guest here from previous Dungeons and Dragons sessions. Other multiple wrestling videos, probably from my Instagram over the last year or
man.
so.
Yeah.
Mason joins us here in the PPS.
Trunks as well, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's Trunks.
Jesus Christ, and even the brand new Saiyan Saga, Master Roshi himself.
Oh,
Yeah.
Damn, dude. Yeah, Mason.
Wore the beard with the best of them.
It's good to have you in here. Yeah, thank you for letting me tape mustaches to your eyebrows. That was a legit Master Roshi like costume, though.
Yeah.
That's great.
And that was great that you came out for that pickup shot, and it was always a pleasure to get to like put costumes on other people. I'm so used to Rocco, Derek, and Sean.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, can we get someone new in here that I can dress up?
A fresh body.
Yeah, that was a fun shoot. But you're here with us today. We are playing Cyberpunk 2077. I got
What a good game.
that Phantom Liberty. Yeah, are you finished the main story?
Oh.
So I have not played the expansion.
Okay.
I played it when they did a bunch of the big fixes and like finished the core story.
Finished V's like whatever, you meet you meet someone at Embers and then it triggers like the last
Yeah.
like where you get to pick an ending, like what do I do with Johnny Silverhand, like that. You've seen that. You did that too as well, Brian?
I know.
Yeah.
You know what? Every time I got far enough away from that game where I tried to come back towards the end of it, and then it was like, shit, I forgot how this game controls. You know,
Yeah.
It's such a. I don't want to say a build specific game, but it means more than any other game.
Oh,
than most other games, I should say. Like what weapons you have and what like.
And that all changed
exomorph
too.
you have and all that. Yeah, so At this point, it's like I almost feel like I should start a new campaign because after Phantom Liberty came out, they're like, well, we're revamping the whole game.
Yeah, everything is different now.
So it's
everything
like
is different now.
Now I'm like, I think I should just start over. Which I'm good. I'm fine with. I love this game.
I had that same thought, and I was real curious. It was like, okay,
I had it day one.
I'm with you, Mason. I beat the core game. Yeah, I bought it day one and got emasculated in a GameStop.
You love to tell this story.
Because remember the news was like so bad around this.
He loves to tell this story.
Uh,
the two pretty girls at the GameStop.
Yeah,
made
they
fun
laughed
of him.
at me and they were like, "Oh, you want Cyberpunk? Hey, Louise, get out here! This guy wants Cyberpunk 2077."
This guy's got a shame.
You want
shame
what?
kink over here.
Hold on, I gotta see this. I mean, she called her friend out from the back to tease me. But I bought it on. It was on PS4, you know, when it launched.
Yeah. Paid the upgrade price.
I do love telling that story.
Yeah.
But anyway, long story short, I'm kind of at the same place you are, Mason, where like I finished the core game and I put it down. They put out the Phantom Liberty thing. It's $25. And yeah, I had heard like, oh, the game's like revamped. Like when you pick it up, it's patched. It's got all this new stuff. Well, I played before I like downloaded Phantom Liberty. I played like my version 1.5 of the game, right? Because say Phantom Liberty's like 2.1 or something like that.
Yeah. I think I probably jumped in at the same part. It was like right when they did the next gen updates for PS5.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And Series X.
That's
like,
when
that's when I jumped in to try it out. And yeah, they've done a bunch of updates since, and like I heard it's even better than it was then. And I had a great time.
Yeah.
Back when that was like late 2020, maybe early 2021, something like that.
The play date came eventually.
That's
like,
about right.
You know. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, and I had played a lot already at that point.
I really enjoyed how. I mean, I bought it to fuck with how glitchy it was. Like I wanted to stream that. I wanted to get random T-posing and, you know, ejections or whatever. And I kind of fell in love with the game. I fell in love with the character of Jackie too.
Yeah.
Which was such good storytelling that they really hit you with that fucking narrative in this game. But yeah, I enjoyed kind of how buggy it was. It wasn't too bad to where I couldn't play.
No, I remember you and I had better experiences than most people.
I think we did.
I think you and I would talk about it like busting down or breaking down every like couple of hours, whereas like some people were like, I can't play 15 minutes without this game fucking up.
Which that's truly, I feel for them. If that was your case, goddamn right, game's unplayable.
Especially on console.
Get your refund. Game set a precedent. I don't think Sony had ever offered like refunds.
They pulled it from the store, remember?
Or that's what it was. It set the precedent of it had been pulled from the store because of so many refunds having to be issued.
They're like, well, we're not going to fucking keep, you know, making money and issuing refunds.
But I'm so glad they stuck with it because, you know, now going back in, what I was previously saying was like at 1.5, before I bought the new patch, basically, Phantom Liberty seems like a patch and an expansion. Right?
Yeah.
Because I started playing the game again last night, like before, you know, a couple nights ago.
It stands alone, right? Like, you can play Phantom Liberty on its own.
No, so that's what I couldn't understand, and I finally figured it out.
Oh.
It is just more content in the world you're already in. So it's that's why I say it's like $25 for like the expansion and kind of for the patch. Because when I first started, before I bought it, it was like, okay, it doesn't feel that different. I'm running around, I'm shooting guns. My tree is like skilled out the same way it was. I've got the cyber gear and my equipment. They kind of added wardrobes so you don't have to look like what you're wearing, which I thought was cool, even though it's a first-person game.
Yeah.
But when you're on motorcycles, you can dress in an outfit. Doesn't matter if you've just got the gear on. And I had heard like, well, they changed gear. Gear's totally different. I didn't really see that until I paid the $25. It downloaded the Phantom Liberty DLC, but it patched the game to 2 point something.
Oh.
Right? That's when skill tree gets wiped, which at first I was like, no, I forgot where I was, but it only took like 15 minutes to build it back up. But they basically say like, hey, the game is so different in this new version, we're wiping your skill tree, and you have all those points, just I'll allocate them as you want again.
Okay.
Basically like, oh, also it's like you want to do, start again from scratch.
Yeah.
In Liberty City with all the core game elements and all the new Phantom Liberty missions.
Oh.
Or like for me and Mace, like we beat the game, but we're dropped into New Game Plus basically before the last mission.
With the ability to respec however you feel like.
Yeah, and now you have the ability to
you
respec.
can either do 1-to-1 or.
Which I kind of did. I'm like very into like knives and stealth, but I kind of the first time I played through the game, I did all the quick hack stuff.
Okay.
I don't know about you. What I played Nomad, and I was way into hacking. Like,
nice. Yeah, I was Corp. I know I did the Corp start,
Okay.
and then quick hacking was super fun. But I think I really just got into like shotguns.
oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
And,
See,
like,
that
just
was
brute forcing my way through everything. I could hack pretty good, but like I didn't have the really like sick quick hacks that like make everybody kill each other.
Catch on
or
fire.
explode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to that point to where I think it was like, okay, I'm gonna light a guy on fire, but if he's within 2 meters, he lights those dudes on fire, and then they spread it. So I was doing all
That's
this
right.
sick hacking, but you know, I was God mode by the end of that game, and then I thought like, okay, I'm gonna respec and play it a little more stealthy, like, you know, get certain perks for taking down kills, you know, in the shadows, and that's kind of how I'm playing now. But I chose to just like keep my new game plus basically, and it opened up all of the new missions that are basically in this paid DLC, but including, which is where I should stop talking, we should actually drop in.
Here we go.
Oh.
We're entering what I think is like a new territory called Dogtown, which is some area of the city at least I never accessed before. But essentially, like, you're contacted. I'll just bring everyone up to speed. You're contacted by someone who hacks your relic, right? And she shuts Johnny Silverhand down. She kind of like puts him in the background, which V's cool with because, you know, he's always nagging her anyway. And well, I play a female V. We should go in and check.
So do I.
Let's check my chick out. There we are. That's my standard look. I got a few outfits now, but
It's like Psycho Ronald McDonald.
yeah,
That's dope.
yeah, the pink and yellow.
Yeah,
I got
that's good.
I got a cowboy get up the other day. I added. Yeehaw! Oh wait, no, it's over here. 2.
And
3.
this game is
Oh dang.
not bad.
Yep.
This game's fun, man. Like people shit on it when it first came out because it really was not a complete game.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have released it.
What
but-
game gives you just full fucking nudity? You know, at the press of a button. I was hoping it would do it if I equipped an unselected wardrobe, but it won't let me. But
I think you have to unequip from there. But yeah, I know what you mean, right? Like there's just a lot of freedom to do what you want with the character too, you know?
it grew. I think everyone. I have some. I can level up. I trusted CD Projekt Red, just seeing and hearing their history with like The Witcher 3 and stuff.
Yeah.
So I trusted him, but okay. So long story short, like the hacker has basically said an airline or a spaceship with the president, Space Force One,
Yeah.
is going down in this Dogtown prefecture of Night City, and like you're gonna help us.
Huh.
So that's kind of all we need to know is like this chick's hacking my relic instead of Johnny Silverhand now, and she's kind of coercing me into helping her save the president.
Still one of the fucking best looking games out there.
Yeah, and this
Yeah.
is the main story mission. So I thought it was cool to play this today because this jumped us into like a new area with new NPCs, all new stuff. But yeah, it is a great. I still love the way this game looks. Hello.
The presentation, like the environments and the dialogue, like everything is just so well put together, like so like meticulously thought out. It seems like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You, I think,
collection.
more than all of us are
Any
really
spirits
familiar
that
with the
go
world
off on
because,
its own.
and this is something I want to get into, is Mason has ran a game of Cyberpunk Tabletop, which is Cyberpunk
All of
Red.
these are your
Oh, yeah.
peripheries.
For
Not
we
afraid
went
of
for
them
at
all?
least a year straight, probably, right?
Yeah, feels about a year. I think I think we're right up there, if not over a year.
This dude's wild. So you see both sides, like being familiar with Cyberpunk, having ran that game in the past and running
Where'd
our
you get that
campaign
piece?
and like playing this. CD Projekt Red really does treat it. It seems like they treat it with a lot of respect. Like the world building is all there. Like everything is really named the same stuff.
Yeah, you could tell they really cared, and they took on. I mean, they
I
took
can't
on the
afford this.
creators of the tabletop game, which was like Mike Pondsmith
Yes.
and Art Talsorian Games. Like Mike Pondsmith appears as a character in the video game. I know he was like either a consultant or maybe even had a bigger title like on the game. So I know they took it real seriously, and the game like matches up almost like 1-to-1 with the presentation of the city and the role-playing game books.
Yeah, I love the. You explained it to me the best, but the lore of the timeline, like the original tabletop that Mike Pondsmith created in the 80s was just called Cyberpunk, right?
Yeah.
And that took place in which year?
I want to say it was like 2019 or 2018.
Okay.
Because the like second edition of it, or like the next edition of it, was Cyberpunk 2020.
Okay.
Which was set in the year 2020, and I think it was, if I want to recall correctly, it's like it was always like 30 years in the future, whatever the timeline was.
They
So
keep pushing it. Oh, that's a smart.
So it came out in like
way.
1990, so it was 2020, and now the 2020 edition is set in the 2050s.
Yeah.
Which is the Cyberpunk Red.
So that's the new, like, we're on the third edition of tabletop, like, you know, RPG,
Gotcha.
pen and paper, Cyberpunk. Although I will say the app is, like, awesome. There's a companion app that now CD Projekt Red, I think, put out. Or who did that? Or was that
I think it's just an independent person, but
Oh,
it looks
really?
like they do have a deal because they charge a little bit for some content, and I bet you that money, you know, it's like part of the license. They can
Yes.
get back to CD Projekt Red or Artelsorian, whoever gets that cut. But it looks like it's officially supported by the two companies who own Cyberpunk.
Okay. So that's kind of that third edition was where we are in 2050, Cyberpunk Red.
Yeah.
Then you got this game, which bumps the timeline up to 2077.
Yeah.
And then I think, are there actual timelines for, like, the minis, the Cyberpunk Wars? Or what was that? The
So
miniatures?
that's set in the same universe as Cyberpunk Red, or the same timeline.
Okay.
Although they just announced, and I'm not like shilling or whatever, but I'm a fan of the Cyberpunk stuff. They're doing a 2077 version of the miniatures game,
Oh, wow.
but it's standalone, and it uses it uses the characters from the anime.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Like David and, oh,
Yeah,
wow.
that's cool.
Rebecca.
Yeah, so all
the
the
only
I
Edge
still
thing I
gotta
can
watch
remember.
that.
all the Edge Runners characters. It's
Yeah.
good. And
Yeah,
instead of
great.
using miniatures, it uses like standees, like acrylic standees, so the characters are the 2D like anime characters,
Oh,
like on the
shit.
standees.
And that's
nice.
honestly,
Great
that's
to
like
play.
anime merch is the acrylic standees, so it
Yeah.
really fits the theme. Like, we did that for
Oh yeah.
the Mega 64 acrylics.
Yeah, so there's a
that's
version
sick.
of that that's gonna be like it's set in Edge Runners, but 2077, like
Okay.
Cyberpunk. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, we're big Cyberpunk stands in this household.
That's right.
Seriously, like, yeah, I've played not only Red, you know, for the year that Mace hosted our games, but then with your minis that you painted, we played a good game of the Cyberpunk tabletop. What do you actually call that one?
It's Combat Zone.
Combat Zone. That's what I could not remember.
Oh.
Which that was super fun. I love that, like, Warhammer style, you know, miniature.
They got that
combat.
shit in fucking Final Fantasy Rebirth too.
Oh, for Condor.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
I just got to my first Fort Condor
Dude.
with the models, and I'm
How
like,
how sick is that? I was
That's so cool.
Last week I was streaming this, and this took me off fucking guard because I got sucked into the game,
Yeah.
and then it shows like Cloud, Tifa, and Barrett all in Final Fantasy VII, like PS1 graphics.
yeah, like
Okay.
pro-res PS1.
I've
graphics.
never had that spoiled for me on
Me
Twitter or
neither.
anything. I was so blown away at the devs. I was like, this is
Yeah.
fucking great.
It happened to me, and I'm like, wait a minute, why is nobody talking about?
I'm sucked into the game
Yeah.
like Jumanji, and I look like the actual PlayStation.
Now I kind of
graphics.
want to play more Fort Condor. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, so if you wanted a turn-based game, we gave you a whole fucking one within the regular game.
You got
and
That's wild.
it looks like the fucking graphics that you wished we would have. It's not
got
the
that.
same. It's not the same, but
I wanted to check, were we up on both Twitch
so
and
people are saying
YouTube?
we're down on YouTube, but it says that we're up here.
Can you check on your phone?
I mean, I trust them. The only thing I would say is maybe pop in, pop off.
If that's the case, but you know, some peeps might need to reset.
Let me see. How do I check?
So yeah, the confusing timeline of Cyberpunk. If you're a real,
It's a lot going on.
if you're a real Chrome head, like me and Mason here,
Chrome head, I forgot that's the term.
If you're a Choom addict,
if you're a total,
Yeah, all my chew.
if you're a total gonk like us, I love that there was a portion of TikTok when this game got real popular of people like just impersonating NPCs from the game, like
Really?
using all the language and the lingo, and like, it's all so cheesy, right? How's it looking on
Says
YouTube?
we're offline.
Says we're off. Okay, let's do a double down. You got it?
Oh, I saw someone asked, is there any Bubblegum Crisis references in Cyberpunk? So, to me, one of the weird things about Cyberpunk as a property, because I was a fan of like William Gibson novels and like kind of the birth of the Cyberpunk genre before I had played the games. But Mike Pondsmith didn't read any of that. All he focused on, the things that inspired the Cyberpunk role-playing game, was Cyberpunk anime. So Bubblegum Crisis and Bubblegum Crash and
Totally, yeah.
AD Police and like all those like old school Cyberpunk animes from the 80s were his reference point for Cyberpunk, for him to make the setting that he did.
So I can see that 100% where like his main influences are that like that wave of anime that was all inspired from Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's,
Which was, you just named the three out of the same studio.
Right,
Crisis,
yeah.
Crisis Crash, and AD Police, you know, yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't, it was like the
Fantastic.
second layer, because like he wasn't inspired by Blade Runner. He was inspired by the stuff inspired by it.
right.
And then like, it's kind of like a retranslation, because he's, you know, American, so he had this Japanese influence that influenced his American thing, and then he re-puts it out, and now it's this, you know, it's got a very unique feel, I think, because it comes from like, you know, a different cultural input.
Distilled.
Yeah.
The distillation process has formed it into what this, you know, unique flavor that he's put forth is.
Yeah, it kind of really is its own thing.
Which I love, just as an aesthetic. Like when you're talking, you just named like those three of my favorite like out of print DVD anime series, right? But also like any kind of media that's fiction, man, I love the future, and it's hard for me to do fantasy. I've talked with you about this, Mason. Like, you know, you hosted our D&D games here with Mega 64 and the boys, past Board Game Olympics and so on. I think that's hard for a lot of us, is to get into the fantasy realm, right? Of like, I think before Lord of the Rings, like there was no media that I actually like enjoyed.
That was
Like,
fantasy?
I think when I was a kid, I liked what was the one where he called him Peck? I can only remember the slur he called.
Manga, please.
Jesus Christ. What was it? Willow?
Oh.
Remember Willow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a fucking way to remember the movie. Jesus
Well,
Christ.
2 people knew because of that.
Of course, right?
Some of them hacked Bung Allens. Thank you.
But like, yeah, before Peter Jackson, who I was giving a chance because it was like, oh, I love this horror
Yeah, the
director,
Frighteners, right?
right? Well, or like Bad Taste, or
Taste, yeah.
Meet the Feebles. God, I loved Meet the
Great
Feebles.
movies. If you haven't seen them, you should see them.
Oh, look at these guards. Oh, these guys are like. Oh yeah, there's like no police in Dogtown. It's like there's like a tyrant guy,
Oh.
and he kind of runs everything here. Oh, and
So,
this.
like, is that his name, Barguest? It's like spray painted on their
Oh yeah,
on
maybe.
their chest. Is that what I saw?
Yeah, I think that's he. Essentially, it's like this part of Night City. Here, I'll show the map too. Is called Dogtown, and it's its own kind of sovereign nation within Night City.
Huh.
Because at some point, a military guy like took a bunch of Militech stuff there and went rogue, and then like, all right, this is my town now. And I think it's like all walled off, and he keeps control over.
Was
Dogtown.
that in the original game? Like, could you drive
I
by
can't
it?
remember. Like, honestly, this map is so large,
Yeah.
and I did everything you could do in the core game. But I don't remember ever seeing. At least this area that I'm in is kind of like a new area just for this
Yeah.
Phantom Liberty, the stadium. I couldn't come here before. I don't think.
Yeah, nothing here looks familiar at all.
Yeah, like that whole market we go in is like definitely like check out this new shit where you paid for.
Right.
Because you paid for it. Oh yeah.
Oh, Songbird's the name.
Yeah, she basically like deep-throated me. Like kind of came over the relic and shut Johnny up and had a code name, and she ain't too shabby to look at. So
There you go.
I'm gonna do it.
I'll
do whatever you say. Just give me the eddies.
How did I become Idris Elba?
Yeah, he hasn't showed up yet.
Sorry.
Where I'm
Don't
so
fret.
lost on what we were
I'll
originally
do
talking
you
about.
not before I save you and Myers.
But anyway,
Not.
yeah, we
alright.
do like some Cyberpunk.
I just want things to work out.
Oh
for
yeah, that's what it was. It's
fighting
just
for
hard for me to
yourself.
get into
your life.
fantasy,
another
but like
shot.
space,
Nice to
the
hear.
future, something with a
You're right.
robot in it.
Yeah.
Case in point,
Jenna,
Ava. That's why I got into the
we're
Ava
in this
series.
together.
I thought they were robots. Everyone did, right?
There is
Yeah.
that.
Big robot on the cover. We find out it's the main character's mother.
I am so fucking happy.
Spoilers.
What? Yeah. Okay. Oh shit. She disappeared. Good thing I got to go to the construction site with the marker here. You can run pretty fast, which I like, even if I don't have access. Oh, because I'm in this new area. Yeah, I don't have like my rides. Like I
Oh,
can't call my
yeah.
cars here or anything. But I think most of it so far has been walking. And honestly, a lot of this game's got a lot of parkour, which is why I like
Alright.
the double
Time
jump.
got up on the roof
The
It
hell
won't let me
for?
do it right now.
for the view, and I'm not being coy here. I
One
need
of the
to see
things,
where
maybe
we
I'll,
land,
if
literally.
I ever do another run or another like new character build, I've seen the people who do the crazy like melee builds, the ones with like where they're jumping and flying in the air with double swords and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Like that looks like a lot of fun.
I did the fucking like weird whip.
Oh, the mono wire.
Yeah, because that shit would slice people up when you upgraded it.
What do I got right now? I got my big ass revolver, the submachine gun. Oh, and then I do love knives, and I think I've just got some pretty good perks. I think I'm like in an area where like it's not letting me just straight up fight yet though. Story stuff. Yeah, now my loadout's like it's I'm pretty good with a knife. I get like hella good hit points if I do headshots. And if I'm crouched while doing it, I think like you get like a minute of increased speed and all these like
Wow.
health boosts. There's a lot of stuff in the skill tree. I'll show you guys if you haven't seen it since they've updated it.
No.
It really looks different. So this all looks the same, right?
Yeah.
Boom. But now it's like what?
Oh, it's an actual
Oh.
like tree.
That's so
Yeah,
much
that's
easier
awesome.
to read.
And I love that they. So we were like level cap before I bought this. We were basically. I had every perk I think I could get. As far as how I wanted to play the game, certain Chrome I couldn't install because you can't have two of the same thing, running.
Sure.
But they really added this locked out top slot here on all of the tiers now. And you
Okay.
can see how much there is to keep grinding, basically like raising the level cap essentially, right?
Okay.
Nice.
Which, yeah, I was happy once I paid the $25. It's like, okay, I'm not still God. Like, there's more and probably harder enemies that I'm going to have to encounter to use all this stuff.
Do they still make do they have like some of the skills in the last game or in the last time I played it had like achievement style things you had to do to like unlock them? Like, oh, you got to kill 10 people with grenades and then you can
Oh.
buy this grenade skill or whatever.
I hate
Is that
shit
still
like
a
that.
thing? Or
I
have
don't
they take that
think
out?
so. I haven't seen that.
Okay,
I haven't seen that, but that might be up here at some top tier shit.
maybe. Yeah, it was like to unlock, to unlock you need to do this and then you could select it to upgrade but if you didn't do those tasks, like it was like locked out for me.
Oh no. I'm gonna do, because I've been kind of leaning, like I said, with the knife and stuff. Like I got these perks that'll just automatically apply poison to stuff. Like this one here. I'll just throw that on. A boom. And then I've got an attribute point. I guess throw it into cool too. Oh wait, well, how do you do that one? Right there. Boom. I didn't put a lot of flavor into cool on my, as you can see, like, honestly, my tech and my body were the highest, I think. Reflexes, it's pretty balanced. And I kind of ignored cool, but now I'm starting to use that again since I'm going with the stealth kind of playthrough on this DLC mode at least. Oh, now I'm completely turned around. Get up on the roof. Brian, we do have Discord calls today.
That's right.
We can talk about Discord. I wanna just, we were already talking about Cyberpunk Red that takes place in 2050. That we played a campaign for over a year, a group of our friends, and I had a lot of fun with that, Mason.
Awesome.
I was sad to see, like, a lot of people had some, like work schedules change.
Yeah, it's hard to. I mean, I'm really stoked that we were able to keep it together
For
for a
as
year
long,
because
yeah.
adults like making time to game. It's like there's
People
so
with
many
kids, people with all kinds of like work conflicts and everything. Like
Problem after
to
problem.
get it together for a full over a year, I thought was impressive.
The pack rough and the hardware don't like
But
it.
I had a blast.
Hop in. Elevator's
I had my
down.
first like permadeath with a RPG character.
Oh yeah,
So like you took us pretty gingerly through
I remember you mentioning it.
through the lands of our Mega 64 D&D adventure.
Mhm.
But Cyberpunk's like fucking relentless.
FYI, we're
Yeah.
about to cross into night
Like the
city
game,
airspace.
you put it this way, Mason. It's like meant to. You're supposed to like be broke and realize how shit this life is.
Okay.
Like it's an uncomfortable existence playing the board game. You never have enough money for anything. I mean, you find interesting ways to scrounge. Like you have to scavenge. You have to take some time to do like side gigs and like, hey, let's take 2 weeks and let's all work some fucking odd jobs, right? And
Wow.
you roll for like making money because rent's due. That's what I never realized. And the interesting thing about this game is like you pick your lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
All right, 4 sessions, Mace is gonna ante up. Like it's time to pay the rent.
Okay.
That was something I wasn't, expecting.
That sounds cool though.
It was.
Presidential
It was. It fits
Well, she's
realistically
calmly
in the world like
securing
really
her
well.
documents.
But I
Looking for a
True
time
role
bomb, so
playing.
I'm clearly
I
not the
played a
only one
character
stressed.
named Strife. No. What was my first character? I'm thinking
Bring him.
wrestling now. It was
I can bring them up actually.
my second. Slick.
Slick,
We
yeah.
called him Slick.
Nice. good cyberpunk name.
Yeah, I picked a tech. I just wanted to like make and fix weapons and stuff. The tech has a really interesting ability that I liked, which was like I could invent stuff,
Okay.
essentially that didn't exist in the game.
Okay.
So as long as like we bought the parts and I realistically explained this to our game manager. What's the term for that?
Game master, I think, is what they use. In some game, like different role-playing games, use different stuff. Dungeon master, game master. Yeah, storyteller, I think, is Vampire the Masquerade.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh
But
god.
it's kind of all the same role.
Yeah.
So that was something that like when I wanted to invent something, I'd have to kind of like I could break the game, right? If I made like the craziest like one-hit kill thing. So it had to be something like within the limits of the game master's approval and everything like that. But
Yeah, and to figure out how to like, okay, how does this work? Like, how does this actually work? Like, what do you roll to use it? What effect does it have on
is
people?
it consumable ammo?
Switch
Like
on board.
what? How's it gonna work? So
Stable, but
that was
tension's
cool because
rising.
I got to kind of like
Surprisingly.
put my head to the paper and
See that?
come up with some cool ideas
Done.
and like for my
Space
second
Force
character a
One.
little more. Slick didn't
We're
last too long.
descending.
Sadly, Slick had a predilection for jumping into holes
What's going on?
as cover that didn't really provide. Potholes don't provide much cover. Right?
No.
I think usually because there's tabletop's mostly about fighting. Whenever Slick was involved in a fight, he was mortally wounded. I think.
Yeah, you got hurt a lot.
I did. And I eventually met my demise, but then was able to. Oh shit! He's coming right at us. Oh, this is pretty cool. Oh, and she survives. So the president's apparently on this plane that we need to.
They just hit you.
That just knocked me off of a
Save
stadium,
the president.
but I'm fine. I landed.
No fucking problem.
Yeah, Slick met his demise. I think like 6 months in. It wasn't too crazy.
Damn.
But then I got a chance to remake a character how I realized I was playing. Because not having played before, I didn't even know how like rolling
Right.
for damage worked or like anything outside of like initiative because I'd played, Dungeons and Dragons before with you, Mace. But now like knowing, okay, this is how I typically played Slick. I built my second character who was named Rykov around how I was already playing, but
Yeah.
I had a way better experience with that character, I think.
Shit,
I
songbird,
had
thought you
weapons
might
that
have-
were more.
Fuck.
I know.
Oh shit! I got hit.
Songbird the cat.
You might be
I,
able to
Number
steal that
9 commenced.
motorcycle though.
I that's what I was going for.
I made sure to get Myers to the safe
Yeah, I
room
thought.
before I
I
ejected.
mean, I liked Slick a lot, but it was definitely like I think a lot of people's first characters, they also were like, oh, we're kind of new to this world, new to this life. And then as you had experience, like your next character, Rykov, I think was more of like a veteran of the world already, and you had a stronger concept, like a stronger idea of what the character could be and what you wanted it to be.
We're going in.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you kind of spec out for what you know you've encountered in the world.
Yeah, exactly what you guys just summed up. Because I have an idea now of how I like to get into firefights.
Yeah.
So okay, I'm gonna make sure I have this type of armor that's gonna allow me to do that. Or, you know, I realized like with Rykov, with that second character, it's like, oh man, I want to use a sword. I want to use a melee weapon rather. I didn't fuck with melee at all with Slick. I was just shotgunning and grenading.
Yeah. So you start to see like all the options you actually really do have, and that's why those games are so fun.
I gamer mash and constantly enter photo mode. I don't know about you guys.
No.
It's a pleasant surprise. How you're like, oh cool.
Yeah.
This looks cool.
I'm like, oh hey, look at me.
Heal.
Yeah, shit. I realized I like didn't come into this prepared with a weapon or anything drawn. There we go. Let's give the submachine gun.
Let's take our first call. Honey
Let's do
Boy's
it.
been patiently waiting.
We'll get back to Slick and the
Honey Boy.
the gang later. Honey Boy.
Hello.
How you doing?
How's it going,
Hola.
fellas?
Howdy.
Hey.
Howdy.
Good evening. How's
Good
it going? I'm glad to be here. I haven't been picked in years.
Happy to have you. Oh, wait, we
Yeah,
haven't
on this,
spoken. We've spoken before, but not for years.
Many moons ago, many
Okay.
years ago,
Many
long time
years
ago.
Now I'm sensing. Am
Way
I
more
hearing?
than that.
Am I hearing a little Canadian
No,
in the accent?
no, not at all.
Fucking happy.
Okay.
I'm from the West Coast, but
Okay.
I'm here on the East Coast. I'm here for a job,
Hey now.
and
Okay.
I'm living life, you know.
living
Good.
life.
Good.
Late in the evening, doing some late night programming, and putting on the poorly played stream. You
Okay.
know, having a good time.
So you know, you're a programmer. We're you know, we're familiar with the hacking that can go on. We're basically the same guy, you know.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here. I'm
love it.
doing cyber deck, quick hacks. You're out there writing script.
Little
no,
script,
on-
kids,
on
script
the-
kitty.
Exactly. Now on the East Coast, how's it treating you out there this time of year? Oh, I shouldn't have gone down.
It's not too bad. You
You've
know,
been out there for you've been out there for work long, or you just arrived?
been about a year since
Okay.
I've been here. I actually saw you guys here. When you guys were in Philly. I got to see you guys.
Oh,
Silly and
So
Philly.
it was a great time.
we did get silly and
Silly Philly.
Brian. You're absolutely
It-
right.
It does get pretty silly, but you know, I like it. It's not bad.
Well, that's great,
It's kind of chill compared to, you know, you go up to New York, and you know it's great first few days, and then you just want to get out. It's like I can't deal with this. Philly's a little more relaxed. There's some pretty, you know,
Good
areas,
shows?
but hey,
Good concerts come through Philly.
yeah, there've been a couple. There've
Okay.
been a good few of them I've been able to see.
Yeah, Mania was
You
out
know?
there, everyone freezing their ass off.
You know, I actually met someone that you're aware of. You were wearing his shirt on the Doug Huggum stream with Sean.
Oh, really?
Oh, nice.
What shirt was I wearing that day?
I believe it was the Charles.
Oh, Charles, good.
Carroll T-shirt.
Oh, we love our Charles,
Oh.
Mr. Carroll, as a former guest of the Poorly Played stream. Oh, I ran behind enemy lines with no cover at all. That's fun.
Sounds about right.
So, got to speak with him. He had just the best things to say about you, and I love to see it. I love the intersection.
Oh, that's
And
great.
My mind was blown when I found out that he was even on the stream. I was like, when did this happen?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
couple
yeah,
of
you-
times.
That's such a interesting intersection.
You can check that thing out. It's archived over at
the archives.
Mega 64's archive channel on YouTube. But yeah, so you saw Charles when he was out in Philly doing some stand-up comedy.
Yeah, I got to see that. Very interesting show.
I bet.
You know, quite interesting. You know, it's not your average thing.
No.
You know, no comment. You know, that's. I'll leave it at that.
Hey,
I'll
you know
leave it
what?
at that.
It was avant-garde. You'll just say it. We'll leave it at that. I'm just taking
Yeah.
hits like
Exactly.
daylight. Oh,
I
Boom.
appreciate the creativity. You know, I'd love to see something a little different.
gotcha.
But
Well, yeah. I
At the
mean,
end
you
of the
go
day,
go out for an evening, catch some entertainment in between. You work from home most of the time, or are you stuck at home?
I work from home. About 3 times a week, I go into the office.
Okay, gotcha.
Sometimes it gets rough. And I'll tell you, you know, I'm missing the old West again. I'm thinking West Coast, best coast.
Well, our
I'll put it
weather,
out there.
Especially weather, yeah.
our weather's a lot to be desired, but well, I'm glad we talked to you today here. Now, anything else you want to ask before we let you go? Or
Yeah, what is the purpose of your call?
yeah, did you want to talk about? Are you a Cyberpunk fan?
You know, actually, I bought the game.
There's the
I think it was on sale a while back, and I was just waiting until it got good because you know when it came out,
It's
all
there,
these things,
brother.
Oh, it doesn't work. It's broken. But I've been thinking of picking it up. You know, it's tough. I'm in that phase where it's like, hey, you know, I want to play all these games. I want to play a bunch of old games.
Yeah.
But I'm just not sure. I'm just like, oh, but you know, like I could work on these projects on my own time. You know, like you know, I don't want to waste my time that I have it. So, and it's like, oh, there's so many I want to play. You know, I've been meaning to replay, you know, Gunstar Heroes. That's been like on my mind
The
recently.
Sega game?
Oh, that's
Just
a
like-
great game.
Yeah,
That's
the
one of my
Sega
absolute
Genesis
favorites.
game.
Wow.
I'm at that
Um,
point with you, man. I was just looking at my stack the other day, and it's like all the games I want to play right now are all 2 to 4 years old, and I just haven't gotten through all of them yet. Like this is a fucking PS4 game essentially, right?
Yeah.
But I
More than
knew I
4
wanted
years
to
old
play
now.
that DLC. I just did not get to it yet, and there's not that much new that's keeping me busy. Like I don't know. I'm right with you, man. Play the old stuff. That's great.
Play whatever most
But-
excites you.
Exactly. Like just playing even your favorite game a 50th time is better than some slop they're trying to sell you for $80, right?
Absolutely.
That you're not
100%
interested in.
agree.
You're not
And the
keeping
great
up
thing
with the
about those old
Joneses. You
Yeah.
don't need to see what
I don't know,
Cheech and Chong can do.
Helldivers.
Yeah, you
That's
don't need to
cool.
dive
Okay.
into hell.
Helldivers is a
Where are
fun
they
game
going?
if
I'm
you're
a
looking for
Christian,
it.
Brian.
I don't know
I
about
don't
that.
dive into
No.
hell. I ascend to heaven.
He's a heck diver.
Helldivers.
You know, my cousin told me about that game and he called it Helldivers 2, and I was like, they already made a sequel? What the fuck? And then I was confused.
There was another.
I was confused for like 15 minutes until he told me like, no, I think like the game everyone's playing is called Helldivers 2.
Yeah.
It's the second one.
Yeah, it's the second one. The other one was the top-down
Yeah.
game.
I had no
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
It's like a
I
PS3
had no.
game, the original.
It seems
I think
cool.
so.
You know, it reminds me of like, oh gosh, was it Planet Side? What is it?
Oh, interesting.
There was another game that was like it was based on like live updates on stuff like that. But
Okay.
I don't know, just no fascination. What I
Okay.
want to ask though
Yes.
is your recommendation of this game because it's been on my list. I've been thinking like I just want to put my time into a fun single player game that I could just get into.
Dude, if you like
You know,
first
decompress
person,
after work. Yes.
I can't recommend it enough. The play dates here, I think we all kind of said how much we liked the core
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
I think you can get it cheap too. And if you're still
Oh,
having
yeah.
fun, it's only $25 for like that whole Phantom Liberty expansion that I'm rocking. There's probably a deluxe edition that comes with everything.
Probably.
I can't recommend it enough. I've had a lot of fun. We've streamed this
All right.
several times, right, guys? Like
Oh, yeah,
a
over the
lot
years.
over the years. Yeah. I'm gonna go invisible, get some headshots, pick up my knife, get another headshot. What? Oh, that was a glitch. All right, that happens. You know, there can be glitches.
It's great too.
You know,
It's a
fair
game too
enough.
that you can
For-
play that's not a live service either. It's not like
True.
you have to unlock a battle pass and like keep playing forever. It's
Yeah.
like, you get to
man.
play it and it has a great story and it's done when it's done with
Yeah.
you know. It's just awesome. It's rare these days.
And it's one I've been able to like put down and pick back up, just like I never set it down. Oh,
Yeah,
hello,
it's
behind
a-
me.
It's a game I mean, if it, you're gonna put a lot of time into this game if you
I
feel
did.
out yourself.
I think
Watching you play it with knowing that it's like basically a whole new game's got me wanting to like, yeah, start all over.
Where's my like where would it say my my playtime stats?
Yes.
Playtime 143 hours, guys.
Wow.
That's I would say I've
pretty
got
solid.
my money's worth. Yeah.
I think so. I'd say like
143.
at most 300. It's like okay, maybe in the next game. I worry though, you know, like with like example like Yakuza 0. Like I
Sure.
love that game, but I'm scared to start it because I just want to do the side missions. And it's like I know I'm gonna be playing this game for the rest of my life.
That's one reason I never finish a Yakuza game, because it's like I just wander and play and start every mission, and I shouldn't do that. But I did it in this game. And rarely though a game sucks me in like this where I'm now actually playing a DLC, which is rare for me too. Look at this brute. You brute! Oh shit, I should get back in cover. Now we're good. Yeah, I think you guys got anything else to add? I can't recommend it enough to him, Honey Boy.
I think it's great. If you play like a Fallout 3 or a Fallout 4, like this game now especially is like right up your alley. Like it's so good.
This is like my first.
It's funny you mentioned
first-person RPG because I've never played a Fallout.
Yeah, funny you mentioned Fallout 3, New Vegas. Those are other games. I'm like, oh man, I want to try these games too. I've heard always so much good things about them.
Hey man, a lot of people are replaying those two because of the show as well.
The show, the
and
TV
they got
show.
updated.
They did? Bethesda's so smart, man. That's awesome.
They said we're gonna delete New Vegas.
Look at this gun!
No.
Guys, should I pick up the floating gun?
Free floating gun.
Yeah. Hey,
Nice.
it's a broken loaf.
Absolutely.
Oh no, it's a
Disassemble
life.
that shit.
Is that an Ares anti-grav pistol?
Yeah,
What's
it's got
happening?
Ares anti-grav.
It's part of the lore.
Well, hey man,
It's not a bug. It's a feature.
Thanks,
Thank
Honey
you.
Boy.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. Hey,
Thank you, brother. Thank
Great.
you.
Yeah, whatever you do,
Thanks
man,
for having
have fun.
me. You guys have a wonderful night. Thank you.
Take care.
We'll do this skit. You go. Have a good
Great
night
to hear
too.
from you.
Good job, big dude.
Brother!
Great to hear from you.
Okay, so this is the president's ship, right?
My day with the
Oh,
president's
is it down there?
It's down here, 20 meters. I got the heavy gun. You can only hold on, and I can't move very fast with it. I lost my
Get
double
inside
jump
quick.
too.
Well, I think you're crouched.
Fuel tank's insulated. It
No.
won't explode.
Oh no.
It's just the heavy gun is like,
And
she dropped it.
Anyone
She
alive?
dropped it because of the story.
Nobody jumping out to greet me.
We gotta do
Are we
story
too late?
stuff. I'm gonna meet the president.
Pretty quiet in here. Too quiet.
That's true then.
Should be more dead people.
Need confirmation she's dead.
I
Moving
mean,
back, you'll
that was
see
a pretty
safe
rough
room.
landing,
I'll pop
right?
the release on the door.
The president made it to a safe room apparently.
I feel like safety measures, either nobody should be dead or everybody should be dead.
Right. Yeah, it's Space Force 1. They don't have more than one like padded cell.
Who are you? You have 5 seconds.
This is the president? Songbird sent me.
Relax. Songbird.
What if I took a drink? I almost took a sip of coffee and didn't answer that in time. Would that have been just game over?
Pretty sure it was really
Who knows?
Blast to the
Right.
face by the president.
Start to the floor.
Oh
Oh. Stupid.
no! She got blasted.
Fucking hell.
Damn it! They just won't let up.
I did love running into all the different varieties of gang in the video game because they're the same kind of varieties and spices of characters in the tabletop. Like,
Oh right.
so you know, Mace, I think you have a predilection to bozos. You like putting us up against clowns.
Yeah. Well, it also became, it was part of one of our other players. His
backstory stuff is important too. Yeah.
Yeah, so I want to make sure to include them. But you know, I'm good with. I got a brain full of creepy clown ideas.
Yeah.
Like all the time, anyway. So.
Right.
I have to say I did love the battles that we did with a character named Googles, who we I think we encountered him pretty early in the campaign.
Yeah.
And that was like one of the first times where like I, as Slick, almost got just like destroyed. Because this was a big bad that Mason kind of like set us up to meet, but we weren't necessarily like expected to kill him on our first meeting.
Sure.
But we fucking did.
Yeah. they didn't kill him on the first, but then they like came up with this crazy plan.
Oh yeah, that was
and
the
like
second.
trapped him. Yeah, the original idea was he's gonna be like a nemesis in like the Resident Evil games, where like here's this guy, this big bad that they pissed off, and like when they hear he's coming, it's like time to book.
Time to leave because Google's is coming again.
But instead they set this like mega trap, spent like thousands of Euro bucks to like hire people with rocket launchers and stuff to like attack him. And it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, they came up with like the craziest, like most expensive idea, put everything they had into it, and killed like the dragon on like the second adventure, right? Like,
Right.
Which was great. I mean, I was super surprised because that was not the anyway how I imagined that would go.
I didn't know like, oh, that's a thing that happens, because you told us afterwards like, yeah, I wasn't expecting you guys to not only win but also like take him on.
Hey,
but that really kind of set the tone for like, okay,
that's funny.
we have to fight everything we encounter. And I think that's why now, as I played Slick a little more headstrong after that fight, he met his early death, jumping into potholes for cover. Because cover is so important in the battling. In the actual, like, rolling your dice to fight, it's like, wow, I learned that lesson. Like, cover is big.
Yeah.
In this game, too, I don't know how I've survived this firefight as lazily as I'm playing right now. Oh, I wanted to switch to a sniper.
I think because it's early on.
Yeah, maybe that's right. Oh, I don't have a sniper.
No, that same thing happened in my first D&D campaign. I think I realized that I had like a move that could knock somebody out of anything hanging or whatever, and as a result, the fall damage pretty much killed them.
Oh,
And
so
it-
you've found an exploit.
Yeah, like that's kind of the cool thing about any RPG that isn't like shackled to some sort of game system or like mechanic like that. Is there's this
Drop that guy.
depending on how you're how you're set up and what your game master chooses, like they can kind of roll with it, or they can be strict, or they can really give you something
Oh, look at this, kind of cool.
something interesting. So their adaptability is really important.
All right, enough fun.
But yeah, I remember we ended up killing our big baddie in like the second or third session because I figure I'm like, oh wait, they're hanging out of a helicopter. Can I knock them out? And the DM was like, yeah, I mean, roll for.
You had helicopters?
Yeah.
You were getting this is a 6th expansion, right?
we were doing like a custom.
Yeah.
game, basically like built around the idea. But we had somebody who was basically just taking enemies from D&D.
From 5th edition books and adapting them to like Colonel Sanders.
So flying mountains, technically. So we used the stats for whatever, a wyvern, let's say.
Yeah.
Not a wyvern, but you know what I mean, like a.
This is where I need that big ammo gun.
Yeah, why'd they take it away from you?
I think it's still like at the entrance of this plane, maybe.
The president got your back, or
Yeah,
where's
she's
she at?
shooting, but let's see. Did it still drop right here? Ooh, Achilles. Well, I don't mind if I do. I don't know what it is. Probably like a cool knife.
Yeah, that I think is the killer feature of tabletop role-playing games, is the fact that there's a GM with a brain, and the ones who know how to like bend and break the rules to like make cool things happen that are like that the players like want to do. Like, like let's figure this out and make it work.
Yeah, the hard part for me was like how it is in most RPGs, where if there isn't like a defined quest that I'm following,
How's the cinch?
and it's up to me, it's like, all right, so you guys are,
Now
you
listen,
don't have
we'll
a
put the
next
vacant building on-
objective. What do you
Elizabeth
guys want to do
Grace.
next?
Got
It's
it.
like,
That's where I found the most frustration, where it was like, oh fuck
what
yeah,
should I do?
I gotta keep this going.
You could grind a stat, you could grind this. you
It's
could
so
that.
open-ended
It's like,
sometimes, yeah.
Okay, I guess I'll learn languages or something, you know what I mean? So I try to just think about what I want to do with the character as I go along. But yeah, over time it's, I think like, I would say, I mean, I know campaigns can last forever, but I feel like a year to 2 years is probably the max before you need to like either shake things up and like re-roll
I
or
would-
like,
I would love to keep my
For me.
character around.
Yeah,
to,
keep
like-
the character but change it up.
Yeah, because like we said, like that's a long time. Like a year and a half or 2 years it's pretty good for adults to keep that streak going, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, one purple item distracting me down here. Oh, it's that. I can't take this. Damn it. I'm wasting time. Oh, and another green one. That's right. But the fact that like Rykov is still alive, I just thought like, oh, maybe I could like jump into like a one-off session at some point in the future and continue his story, you know?
Sure.
Yeah, I'd be down. I mean, I took when the campaign ended, and it didn't end like we had an ending. It was like
To be continued.
yes, too many
kinda.
people like they
Yeah.
couldn't get their schedules together. A bunch of people are having like things happening at home, kind of all too
People
much stress.
moving.
Yeah, too much strain and stress at once. And so, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna make sure that I write down because I try to keep a I do it in OneNote, but keep like a wiki or like all the information from the campaign, like it's organized as I can.
Right.
For my own use, and it's cool to share it with the players. So there's like, here's this repository of like information that we've kind of built up over the campaign.
That was awesome, especially coming back in every 2 weeks we'd play, and it's like, oh, here's this PDF of what we did last.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, that's super helpful when you got a game manager who's doing that.
Yeah.
But what was I gonna say? But yeah, so but it's so that in case, if it's like, because I've got some stuff going on in my life now, I'm moving to the East Coast to
Shouts
represent.
Yeah.
But
shouts out.
Hey,
What is that
you know,
sound effect?
it's
There we
like
go.
if we want to jump in on a game like online, after things get settled, and it's like, oh, where were we? Right?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
after 3-4 months off, like where were we? It's like, oh, we've got the wiki to like, or the OneNote to like remind us and refresh us like who our characters are and what people were up to and all the things they had going on.
And Brian, you played specifically online, even.
Yeah. We were all remote.
All
we
remote.
We never played
So- and that-
together in the same.
I feel
Well,
like
at
that-
first Frank and I were sitting next to each other.
Oh, okay. 2 of you of the like
yes,
6. So.
yes, but I mean, like our DM
Got
was
songbird
not
on comms.
in the same
She's fine.
room. Like we had Ryan,
And it's
Dr.
safe
Ryan
for
calling in
songbird,
from,
too.
Oh wow.
Songbird.
wherever, and then Carlos,
Starting to
Angry
work.
Bananas, calling in from
I suppose after that,
LA,
she
and
always lands on her
for a while we had
Crazy look.
yeah, we even had
Busy.
like our friend Aaron
Maybe
Pierce
you brought
calling in too. Like
Oh, Aaron.
nobody was in the same room except for
Yeah.
Frank and myself, and then
So, and
you
I
know, it
think
was all remote.
I think Cyberpunk even works as a theme better for not better. It's great to sit at a table and like tell that story, right? And like get sucked in. We would have like the music playing in the background.
See, that's fun.
but
That's really fun.
But
yeah.
but like Cyberpunk though, really of all
Fucking
the
nightmare.
themes
dead.
fits us all
All
being
of them.
remote like pretty cool.
Yeah,
you know,
you're
pretty
right.
well, like having like a video conference of like everyone on Zoom or whatever.
You're right.
That would be fun to do down the road. Don't blame
Yeah, and
yourself.
I think any tabletop role player
Whoa,
too
Kurt
got good at
Hansen
it during the
killed them.
pandemic.
Yeah.
Not you.
Like I figured out how to do live streams and virtual tabletops and stuff.
I'm sure Discord
games.
is a huge benefit
what
for
you
that
think.
too.
Huge. That's
You
how
have
we
no
did it.
idea.
We
Yeah,
kept
this
a
goes.
chat going like while we
We
were
were
playing
hacked.
through a
It means
Discord
Hansen had
too,
help.
which is cool because
From
like
Washington.
all the characters have an agent, which is your cell phone.
The
Yeah.
NUS
So, like,
government is aware of the crash,
We
no doubt.
could,
They'll
unbeknownst
set
to
up.
Mace,
Seen
like
us hit the ground in Dogtown.
text each other on our agent using our Cyberpunk Discord, and like
Ah.
strategize and maybe plan stuff that we don't want the DM to know that we're doing.
Hansen's
Stuff,
spreading his
stuff like that.
agitprop lies
It
as
rarely
we
got
speak.
used, but it
Yeah.
was there for that with that intention.
People have an even harder time crossing the border.
Shit like that I thought was really cool.
It'd be fun now. Like, I know it's not easy, but but that's kind of why it'd be fun now to try the opposite side and like try to be a GM or a DM for a session.
Oh,
as
you'd be
opposed-
interested in trying that?
I think it'd be way more interesting and engaging to me than the actual
Playing.
playing of the game itself.
Understand
More
your
so
concerns.
because of like
Don't forget you
what
gotta
what I
leave.
think it takes to be. This is me.
Yeah.
What I think it takes to be a
And
good
get you out of this
DM
mess.
or a GM, which is like,
Thank you, V.
yeah, again, like part
We
of it
stick to the
is
plan.
you
After that,
want the
I guess
characters
we'll see.
to do a certain path, but you also kind of want to give
Wait a
them that
second.
freedom to
Damn it.
change it up on you and give you a run for your knowledge of the game, in my opinion. So you're trying to like
Hansen's got someone
play off
inside
of what
of
you know
Washington,
players
that
know
means I'm
and
traceable.
maybe even
Wherever,
trick them,
whenever.
force them to see the game a little differently, try a different approach. I mean, that's what I like
I
in
have
regular
a
video
subdermal
games.
tracker.
Um,
it needs to go.
You'd like to
ASAP.
see that other side of
It's near
it.
an artery.
Yeah,
It's best
well,
not-
I
Yeah,
like.
I think I I think I see all the work that goes into what you have to do, like to set up a game and like everything else, Mason. I think I enjoy being on the other side of the table.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I am like so thankful that someone wants to and like takes on that duty, you know.
Yeah.
Give me a hand
There's,
here.
I mean, there's different styles of GMing, and the style that I take on is I try to be very sandboxy.
Yeah.
So I don't build stories,
They say
right? I don't
pain's
say
a
like,
deal
oh,
between
this
body and
is
brain.
the story
You
that
break
we're
it.
gonna go on. I
Throw
build
the
like,
pain
here's
away.
the relationships, right?
Right.
Here's these
Whole
characters.
lot of horseshit.
So here's the relationship to the
options.
PCs, and then
Carve away.
you know, if you need to kickstart like action, like to make things happen, it happens. As far as like what's going to happen next, or
Almost a
can they,
rite of
you know,
passage.
could they
Feel
be
like
the
I'm
ones who ended up
welcoming you
like
into the clan.
nuking Night City again and changing like
A
the
clan?
future? Because someone was
Quite the
asking like,
career
oh, in
change you've
2077 it's like this. We had somebody who was a super Cyberpunk 2077 fan at the table.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
cool, which is really cool. Like I love having someone who knows that, but he's like, oh, but this is supposed to happen. It's like,
Cover it now.
no, that your canon is your own. So if you change the future, what happens in the video game 20 years later, like,
They can
doesn't
see us.
have to happen anymore. Like, it's your story, it's your character's story, and the world is yours to change and do with what you will. So I
Yeah.
try to keep it as sandboxy as possible so that players can have as much impact on the setting as is warranted by their actions.
Right.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things that our DM did was we were novice. So Frank, myself, were novice, but like Ryan, Aaron, they
Yeah, Ryan's
definitely
played
played
a
before.
lot. Yeah.
So he would purposefully do things to counteract Ryan's like, well, I know how to beat this. So you know what I mean? Like, so Ryan's main operative is
so
always
yeah.
have like an optimal build or approach to whatever. So he knows, oh, this is this kind of you know, enemy. So I'm gonna come in with this and this and this. But as a seasoned DM, Spencer would be able to then accommodate for that and make it harder on Ryan, but not necessarily making it so hard on us. So the adaptability that they had for the skill level of the player too was really cool. Like if we came up with something creative, they'd allow it to happen. But if Ryan was trying to like, you know, circumvent some like thing to just barrel us through it, he would meet a heavier sort of response than we would. And I thought that was really cool because, again, it allows everybody to stay engaged. Because otherwise, like, yeah, somebody like Ryan who's seasoned will just carry us through the whole game.
Yeah,
So
I
it
feel
was really cool.
I feel like that's something that as a DM, do you have to deal with that? Like, hey, there's some seasoned people here at the table, and then there's some intermediate players, you know, and like.
Yeah, and there's certain things too. I think like I try to set expectations before the game starts.
Yeah.
So like,
Slow down.
if it's gonna be like,
Not for
hey,
long.
like metagame and build up like, you know, do
I'm
character
here.
optimization because that's the type of game that we're playing where it's like
now.
Everyone
the
enjoys
threats,
that.
the threats are gonna be crazy.
We need
I'm
to
gonna be
get to the
pushing
top
that
of the
limit.
building.
But if it's like,
Talk
hey,
later.
like play a
Songbird
character
on
who's
comms.
believable and like well
Says we
balanced
gotta climb
because
higher.
this is
Lead
sort of
the
the
way.
themes of like the direction the
Yours
game's going. I
city
think it's good to
after
set
all.
those expectations before you roll a
Yeah.
die to make a character, just so that everybody at the table knows what's up,
Time to haul
and the
ass.
GM can, you know, is happy to run too. Because I know in some instances, like if you have a player who's like, you know, not trying to like wreck your game, but like treating it like it's like their game rather than like this shared experience. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? You know, like they would be playing like Cyberpunk by themselves. You can do whatever you want. You're not going to ruin anybody's time
Elevator could use a
playing
runner's touch,
Cyberpunk
so-
however you want. You know, if
Already
you want
on
to build
it.
a super character optimized build,
Uh-huh.
but if you want to build like, oh,
Sorry,
how would I
Lee,
really
the
be in
magic's
the
no
world
good
of
here.
Cyberpunk, you can do that too.
What we need's power.
And neither one of
There's
those
a
is
maintenance
going
shop
to
with
get
a
in the way
fuse
of
box
another
nearby.
player's good time or the
Follow
GM's
the
good time,
staff.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
Says I need to turn the
So-
lights back on.
That's my
take a
experience
minute.
with it, is just sort of set those expectations at the beginning,
That's
so that once you're in the midst of it, it's not like, oh,
It's not a surprise to
yeah.
anybody.
And
like,
different players will have play styles too. So you might be like, hey, I'm cool with, you know, someone who's a juiced munchkin player and someone who's trying to like, you know, role play out a cool fantasy story about a village, right?
right.
Yeah.
And trying to say, okay, I'm trying to do something for both of those. So the person who's a power gamer needs to be cool with like, hey, we're gonna chill out in this village and get to know these NPCs because that's what this player's really into. And then, you know, in a session or two, we're gonna hit that big crazy fight where you're gonna have to strategize and use all your skills and abilities, and all that power is going to pay off that you've been like building. All that combat power is going to pay off that you've been building over time.
But you might have to be patient and like let everyone have their turn at the table until you get to do your whatever the thing you're trying to do.
Yeah.
I felt that definitely in some of the games we had where there were bigger groups, and it would be like, all right, you know, don't be too hasty. Take your time. You're gonna get to upgrade your chrome later, and that's kind of like the main thing. Like with my first character, I barely got to upgrade him before he died.
Oh.
With Rykov, I farmed a pretty decent amount of not money, but I had a pretty decent amount of improvement points. So I was looking to like start adding chrome and get a lot more cyberware. And that's kind of like right when we stopped playing. So that's what I'm like. It's like, ooh, when I come back, I think I'm going to have those fucking skate feet and the fucking cyber legs. And I might need to go to therapy for it. But I was really having a good time doing that. But I could see how I had to be very patient and wait to be like, okay, we're doing this mission right now.
Yeah.
And we're not really spending a lot of time with like, hey, everyone's got 2 weeks to go make some side gig money. Every once in a while, we would do that, kind of at your request. Like, hey, everyone's broke. Like, you can take 3 weeks of game time while we all roll for side jobs here. And that was helpful.
Yeah, well, it's usually like you'd have like a big mission, and that's what we'd like role play out like day to day. Like, what are you guys doing?
And we'd earn money from that.
And in other games, I've realized it sucks when you're like your characters have to constantly be on edge. Like every day is something crazy. It's like, no, here's this crazy thing that happened. And that happens like 6 times a year, right? Like, so it's like, okay, now you've got a month, 6 weeks off, where nothing crazy is gonna happen, and that's where you can like get it cyberware installed, go to therapy, pay your rent, like whatever, all that boring stuff.
Odd jobs,
And then when we're playing again, you know, and we're not role playing the day to day of that, we're going through like week by week in an hour before. Now it's a month and a half later. Now here's when some crazy shit popped off again.
Oh, now here's
good pacing,
here's Google's girlfriend. What was her name? Noodles? No.
Tracy Gacy.
Tracy Gacy. That's right. I love that name. And we stripped Google's arms, right? I was gonna put one on my arm, but then I died. So we sold them as a group. You know, we had to pay the bills. But we sold them to Google's ex-girlfriend, who was a little nuts. So Tracy Gacy is now wearing the rocket launcher right arm and the machine gun left arm, and currently was coming after us. I don't think we did not put Tracy down.
No.
That's gonna be a new problem.
Enemy patrol.
This president's badass.
I like that white pantsuit.
Yeah, dude. She's got the fucking
Powerful.
Hillary powerful.
Yeah, if Joe Biden came out wearing that pantsuit,
Dude, yes.
There you go. Election over. Whoever wears the pantsuit gets the election.
He might show up in the debates wearing that.
oh man.
Hey, Joe, look at here.
The coolest thing I think about playing these games is that ultimately, if you like regular, or not regular, it's first, but if you're a video game player, it really teaches you the underlying mechanic behind most games, and especially games with RPG elements. You start to understand what initiative really does, what intelligence really does. Because, you know, playing those as a, you know, even as a kid, I'm like, what's luck? What's intelligent? What's all this shit? You know, like, oh, strength and defense, or magic if you want to play magic, right? Like, that's all you care about upgrading when you don't understand how they can, like, function. Kind of like what you were saying in terms of, like, even loading out and building your character, and how you want to play. It makes it more easy to understand, like, oh yeah, I wouldn't do this if I wanted to be a pugilist or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, it also tells you how to spec better, you know, in future games. So
Sure.
I learned a lot playing
Cyberpunk?
Well, from playing D&D that I applied to video games.
Other video games.
I took it the other way. I took it back to the origin.
Oh, I see your point.
You know, we're talking about how, you know, the subject material was like filtered through, you know, anime, then back into the U.S. But gameplay, like
totally,
that gameplay is the foundation of video games, all video games. And then, you know, to have it then be something that I played as an adult on pen and paper, it was like, oh, this makes way more sense. Oh, this is what, like, you know, like, effectively, you're rolling the dice in a video game, especially with RPGs back in the day, turn-based ones.
You're literally rolling the dice.
You're rolling what would be like a proverbial dice, and rather than it being like a critical hit, it's either a random number generator or, you know, whatever their method is for determining power. So I think, yeah, again, I think it's really cool that it helped me like understand games.
I definitely like recognize terms I had been seeing my whole life.
Yeah.
And then now I know how they became the name that they are. Like, you know,
it also made sense.
Critical hits.
Yep.
You know, like you said, what's the order? Where
Initiative,
that whole thing, yeah.
That whole thing, like, yeah, why does this character, even though I set him in my menu lineup, why does the frog always go first in Chrono Trigger? Because he has the fastest, you know, highest initiative.
He's got highest initiative.
And he's got the most speed, so he's more likely to move first. Then it's like, oh, now I see what strategy they were trying to build with these games. Whereas I was just in there going heavy attack, heavy attack, heavy attack, heavy attack.
yeah, not knowing as a kid, like,
not knowing,
where this comes from.
What you're trying to set up, what tactics you're trying to use. So it taught me to slow down a lot with RPGs in general. So very, very cool to have that. And that's what I didn't get. Like, that's what Fallout is. That's what Skyrim is. That's what all of those games, you know, are trying to do.
This is the first kind of like American. It's not American. It's Swedish, right? Where are they from? Polish, right?
Polish, yeah.
But this is the first like Western RPG I've ever played.
Oh, okay.
I've never played a Fallout game. I have never played.
It's the one I played the most of.
The only RPGs I played were Japanese, so this was really a lot for me when I started it because it's like there's so many menus with so many little tiny stats but I think playing tabletop really helped me understand the world in general, and I just love that the lingo's all the same and the world really does connect, even through the timelines. And I feel like CD Projekt Red is treating it better than it ever has been because it's like on the forefront of pulp culture.
Right.
Yeah.
For the first time. Like, it was always around, and that's the coolest thing. It's got cred. It's from the fucking 80s.
Yeah.
But now it's like, it's in the mainstream, I feel like. After this DLC has come out, and like, there's still people playing it, still people streaming it.
I personally think aside from... And even FromSoft, I don't think does the level of customization that CD Projekt Red does. But from my experience of playing RPGs, CD Projekt Red has nailed what I felt I got from playing an actual RPG, not a video game, like a real RPG with people, pen and paper.
They definitely nailed the Cyberpunk world, too.
Like, I mean, both games, Witcher and Cyberpunk, I feel are the most, within their worlds, most like what it felt like to play an RPG in terms of if you understand the world, your class, and the place that you're in, you know, like what you've chosen, you can really do a lot of very cool, unique things that, you know, even the game developers don't expect, which is a lot of times why you see the glitches.
Yeah.
In my opinion. But like, I'm sure like Fallout and all those other games do that too, but it really doesn't. It feels like more haphazard. Like combat in those games feel really kind of haphazard. If you can do the Pip-Boy, you can kind of figure things out. But like with this and with Witcher, CD Projekt Red really nailed the proper combat style and world engagement style too, where like certain things you do affect certain things in the game, and it's not like here's the optimal way. It's just you have these deviations that you can go down. Of course, it doesn't have the adaptability of you know, a DM or a GM changing their mind and making some sort of creative decision. But for fuck's sake, man, like the way you started playing Cyberpunk was different than the way Frank did, than was different the way that I did, and we all went down different directions and stuff too. So it really feels like an RPG. and
Oop.
that you have all that control over your character and
Dude,
where they
she's
go.
even stepping up on the table there. Look at that.
Look at that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and the game's so fucking pretty.
It is.
Back at that. I'm gonna wait for these guys to come in the room, in cover, because I know where they're coming now. Come on, boys, with your giant machine guns. Actually, what kind of grenades do I got? I think I only have an EMP. Hey!
Yeah, I don't think I've played a more like immersive world in a game.
Yeah, with so much to read.
Right?
Yeah, so much to read. There's so much stuff in the world, but it's like it doesn't feel just like randomly placed. It feels like, you know, there's buzzwords like it feels like lived in, or like, you know, you see like, oh, if there's a big long hallway and there's a bunch of like homeless people hanging out, there'll be a bunch of like trash and stuff. Like that whole story of like that part of the world is told in like that moment, you know, in that first second you see it.
Yep.
Exactly that. It really does. And I know when the game launched, there weren't a lot of NPCs. So Night City did feel a little empty, but that's not the case anymore.
Yeah.
Like the city is fucking alive.
Well, I think that was a byproduct
this is what I
of many
want.
things. One, that we were still attached to the old gen development, where they didn't have the autonomy, and I think they valued character or NPC autonomy over density, which was a mistake. They should have just had more robotic NPCs to just make it more living. Now, again, they fixed it. They made this world feel like it was supposed to. And that's one of the things that I'm looking forward to coming back and exploring. Even just watching you play this, it's like, okay, yeah, I'm down to like start a new, I don't know what, roll whatever, see what the options are. And,
because I did
fun.
Nomad, but I'd like to try Corpo or like Street Rat or.
See, that's the thing. Yeah, I want to try like I did Nomad, and I thought that was cool, but let's do a Street Rat. See how that goes. You
Nomad
know?
appealed to me because it seemed like Mad Max, kind of like Wastelander, you know.
Yeah.
But let's get past this mission, and then I feel like it's time for our first little break of the night.
Yeah.
I want to plug what we got coming up on this Saturday. I think it's a coincidence, Brian. Now, tell me if you guys have heard about this. The 20th of April. Have you heard about this before?
I have.
You've heard of this, have you? Okay, because I don't know if it's a coincidence or what's going on, but we got a lot planned. I will get to it as soon as I kill whatever. Oh, it's this asshole. Yeah, let me use the heavy gun on the drone. Full fucking no cover. All in. Just keep healing.
Whole hogging
Just
it.
keep healing. Whole hogging it. Taking it down, baby. There's a perk point. We got the Mantis Blades out. Let me use the Sandeva stand and attack from above because I get like way more critical shit if I'm airborne. Double jump. What's up, fucker? You're dead. Okay, we're still. Yeah, after I saw the anime, I respected. I gave myself the Sandeva stand. It was like, oh, I don't need the deck anymore. Give me the Sandeva stand. So yeah, no more quick hacks, but I could go slow-mo. Okay.
Quick hacks are fun though.
This game is so intense and then calm. You can just pause it and set it down.
It's nice.
Okay, I do want to talk quickly about what's coming up here. I teased it, Brian.
Tease it?
I teased it over the last 30 seconds. I'm going to hit the music now. Check. Hello! Welcome to the official plug of the Mega 64's Poorly Played stream, brought to you by King Lord Bryan and myself.
Me and him. We're here. Got Mace.
Let's check the Twitter. Oh! Guys, the schedule for Mega 64's 420. That's 6420. Virtual Boys Extravaganza is up. We got ASMR, Enter the Virtual Boys.
Wow.
That starts at noon, Brian.
I'm so fucking happy.
We go to the Wonder Museum. We sample the weed comedy board games.
Ooh, okay.
Parentheses funny.
Okay.
Just in case you were worried, because we're kind of worried, so we
Yeah.
just had to make sure you know.
It's gonna be funny.
Yeah, it's not as cringe as it sounds. It's worse. 2 o'clock, we got conspiracy theories. And, oh, what's this? Ganja Land, another board game.
Okay.
Taking a step out of the Olympic board games, which I passed my trophy to Derek this last year. He is the champion.
Nice.
Not of the Christmas cast. You can
Nope.
see that championship belt hanging right there behind us.
Over our shoulder and always in our hearts.
And then we got at 3:30 Chester's Bitchin' Food Competition. A new one on the docket. 4 o'clock we got Virtual Boys crank their consoles.
Hey now.
Followed by Half-Baked Theater at 4:30. It might start right around 4:20. It might.
It might.
It's right around that segment. We were trying to nail that. Tune in here at Twitch where you're watching us right now. And then stick around for the YouTube archive coming very shortly thereafter.
Oh yeah.
That's all this Saturday, guys. You could join us here at noon Pacific. I would sure love if you did. Merch drops out the wazoo.
Look at these.
At the newness. We can't show the secret shirt. Brian, I won't do it.
Pervert. I got to see it.
can't do it.
Oh, son of a bitch!
But we got the Virtual Boys long sleeve. We've got the archive tie-dye. This logo is so good in the spiral of the tie-dye.
I actually, I'm really happy with how that
I'm
turned out.
picking that up, right?
Yeah.
That's where the PPS lives and breathes.
Picking
on
it
the
up might not
archive.
even put down.
But to just put icing on the cake, Rocco has come up with the trademark hoodie, which I love. You got the Pizzatron logo in there.
Pervert.
You got Space Volunteers.
Pervert.
You got Captain Kidd's Ice Cream Buffet.
Sarnotech?
Holy shit.
Look at that. You got a, wow, there are a lot of different trademarks on
Dude.
that shirt.
Not to mention
64 Expo.
a Space Cadet tray. Now, what you use this tray for, you can do anything.
Oh.
It's a tray so cool you could do anything.
Pervert.
I don't know why I keep hitting that specific sound.
Sit down.
I'm gonna move my finger. Okay, what else we got? Boom. We got a lot of close-ups. We got a lot of info. We put out Todd and Aaron live.
Wow.
Just today, you get, in the middle of the year, not at New Year's at all, a Todd and Aaron video with a little secret at the end. Another classic Mega 64-bit returning. That's just a little sample from our live tour. Lots of bullshit. The Patreon stuff's going out. We got the motion picture soundtrack for 4.1 and the shooting script all in studio, all being shipped out this week.
Oh. Podcast
You know,
is up.
You can find us at shop.mega64.com. Enough. That's it. That's all the plugs.
Bro!
Now, I do want to take a little
break.
break. Let's hear our friends, the Insane Clown Posse, discuss the finer points of having a fan base.
There you go. Ins and outs.
We'll be right back.
Do you care about the audience?
I care very much about the audience.
All right. You said yesterday you were greeting some fans, and you said to one kid,
How you doing?
you said, how old are you? And the kid said 12.
12? Did you not drop yet?
Did you drop your testicles yet?
Right.
To a 12-year-old.
That's right. Exactly.
How are you caring about
How are you
this?
caring
Well,
about
I'll
this?
tell you exactly how I'm caring about the 12-year-old. What 12-year-old in the United States? Show me the neighborhood where
We'll be right back.
a 12-year-old kid doesn't know what a pair of balls are yet. noticed a pair of balls on her head. What neighborhood or what fantasy are we living in where you think your 12-year-old kid don't know what that is?
No, I know, but what good does it do that kid at 12 to hear you say that to him?
Because I didn't hear nothing like that until I got older. And I knew about that since I was 8, you know what I mean? So it's just like a relief, like, yeah, you're treating me like, for real, it's real to the kid.
Also, you said, how old are you to another kid? He was 14.
Good. I'm glad you're influenced by us. Do you drugs? Go home and smoke something.
Go home and smoke
coming back, folks. Stay with us.
I feel like I just turned on the NES.
Test, test. How am I sounding?
Test, test. How are we sounding? Sounding good.
Is it 420 yet?
It's Saturday. I think it's coming up soon. Welcome back. We are refilled with coffee and beverages, and we are drained of our urines.
Oh yeah. You're in.
I wish I could take
You're out.
a break in the middle of the podcast. I have to pee, so I drink so many beverages throughout the day, right? That I'm constantly pissing. But I fucking can't get through the podcast anymore. I mean, we go like 3 hours, like pre-show, regular show, post-show. Sometimes I'm just like dying for that to end. I love how on the PPS we're just like, hey guys, put a fucking song on. I'll be right back.
Take a break.
Yeah, goodbye.
You can have one kiss.
Hello. All right, we're back. I'm going to implement that on the podcast. I'm going to say, Kevin, cut it. Johnny, push a pause button. I got to go. Where were we? Oh, yeah, the game here at hand.
Cyberpunk.
Yeah. Oh, I should probably loot these guys.
Give me the loot.
Sell some shit. I kind of got, like, my favorite weapons that, you know, I think the DLC maybe added some better stuff so I can actually upgrade, because man, I've been playing with the same like 3 guns I like for probably 100 of those 147 hours or whatever.
Yeah, that's true. Do you like that if you get into the crafting side of this, they will let you just keep upgrading your gun? Like, so if you find one you like, it can just keep coming with you.
I like
level
that.
by level, yeah.
The one thing I don't like, if I had to give a con, right? When they changed the game format, respec, you know, your character, and then like they changed the way clothing works. Like, I had put a bunch of crafting resources into clothing that I liked, and then that would give me like the highest armor value, and it was also the stuff I liked. Now, aesthetically, that became a thing with wardrobes where, okay, you can look like whatever you want and just wear the best shit.
Yeah.
But I think they had totally changed like the way clothing works. Like, it doesn't. I used to wear like something that had the best armor on it, but now it's like this item was the best item I had. It doesn't have like an armor classification. It's like some stuff does, like the helmet does. So it actually behooved me to wear the helmet, right? Because it's 25% more armor.
Right. But
so
then
they
your character
changed,
just looks however.
Yeah, and I had taken one of these like cotton headbands, right? But I had spec'd it out so high in crafting, and it's kind of like, oh, all that was wasted now. But hey, what are you gonna do?
Well, now it lets you get, you know.
I kind of like that I don't have to think about it anymore.
Me too.
I thought so much about like the fashion of this game.
Now you're not just carrying one item throughout the whole game. You're actually like
hack
equipping
these.
new shit, you know?
Yeah.
Which I always like. I always like trying new armor out and finding shit that works for me, weapons-wise.
Dude, in the future, I thought to myself, like, this would never happen. Like, you could just press the button and it charges your account, the 11 eddies, you know? That's crazy. But it happened to me at the gas station the other day.
Oh?
I walked by the pump, kind of thinking like, I've just stopped here to like get something in the convenience store, but maybe I'll get gas. And I just kind of like flippantly like waved my card in front of it like, I'm gonna get it, maybe not. I did it so fast thinking it wouldn't do it, it did it.
Huh.
So just like being near the machine with my chip reader,
oh yeah, dude,
it said like, okay, yeah, go ahead, you're registered, pump away. Which I was like, wow, that really worked from a distance. I felt like I was like a foot away, and I just went like, let's see, as I walked in. But when I came back out, it was like, oh, I should pump my gas before someone else does.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Oh, did you guys pick up on that story about the Amazon shops?
Oh.
Everybody thought they were like ultra like AI cyber shops, but it was just like 1,000 people in India watching you on a camera and charging you for what you like picked up.
No,
really?
Yeah.
That's what it really. Because I remember them opening Amazon stores, and it was like, the thing with Apple doing it was like, oh, they'll know you picked it up, and you like walked out with it.
Huh.
But it wasn't really just
Yeah,
automated.
it wasn't tech. It was like, yeah,
it was just
dudes watching cameras.
cheap,
on
cheap labor.
1,000 miles away.
So the moment you walk in, you're like identified by a person. That person can follow you on whatever camera.
And they know
have.
like your account probably.
'Cause I figured it was all RFID.
Yeah, I thought it was like RFID or like, you know, visual recognition, you know, like face recognition, but for candy bars or whatever. Like, just put all that together. But no, it was just people following you around the store on the camera is like watching what you're picking up and charging it to your Amazon account.
It seems inefficient.
I'm driving Miss Daisy here. Oh, driving in the car is great if you're a passenger, or like this view, I should say, but like it's so hard to do.
Dude, that's another thing in like detail in this game. All the cars have different interiors, like way different interiors.
Way different, with
Yes.
like different bobbleheads, different tech, different like steering columns and everything. Yeah.
For some reason, your passenger can also drive that car, but they're not. Right? Is there? Do I see a wheel over there? Oh no, I don't. That's just like a radio or something.
But I feel like whenever I carjack a car, I get in the passenger side. Oh, sorry, this tree's. Okay, so we're gonna try to stay on the yellow top as best I can. Hit some guys our way. Oh shit!
Lose them before accessing the garage.
Okay, shortcut. Can I just go off the fucking? Will we survive this? One way to find out. Oh, all right. That was the one intentional one.
Let's do it.
Okay, how do you get rid of show hide UI? There we go. It's pretty good. All right, here we go. Oh, I don't know how to get out of it now.
Circle.
Going froze.
Oh!
Dude, you found the cool moment of that fall, so that's good.
Yeah.
And now you're
Oh,
trapped.
now we're
again.
stuck.
No.
Okay, Mrs. President. All right, Mrs. President, we're gonna need to find a new ride. Dude, now I've got the car jammed. It won't even move. Okay, hold circle. Whew. I did find, even in the Phantom Liberty patch, I found a glitch where I had fallen through the map. And then it was a quick save, so every time I loaded it, I just kept falling indefinitely. But I don't know, it's kind of cool when that happens every once in a while. These are innocent bystanders.
Does this game have some games will have like a safety net? Kind of like, it's funny because they know like, hey, we can't find every hole in the mesh. So
Right.
once you fall far enough, you'll hit the like safety net and it like brings you back to the world. Did that happen, or were you just
no.
done?
And it was unfortunate that it quick saved right at that point because every time I tried to load it again, I just fell indefinitely. And then it would like you would fall through and then start to fall again, kind of thing.
Oh, nice.
It was cool. I got a whole good look at Night City. Oh yeah, I wanted to change my stupid. I put these EMP grenades out. I never used grenades when I played this game, and I realize now like how valuable, how effective of a weapon they are. Especially some of the like incendiary ones. Like, why am I hoarding these? Here we go, buddy. Oh, a little too far. Let's see, right. Oh, I like the aiming. I never noticed that before. And I still missed. So my slow-mo kicked in because I was like critical health.
Nice headshot.
Cool. The higher ground.
Also,
so is this whole town just trying to like kill the president?
Essentially, yeah, because like they're this like, you know,
slow as fucking reload speed.
I know the shotgun does take quite a while. Yeah, so I have like 3 wanted level stars, and it's not the Night City PD. It's this gang that basically runs this lawless zone, and it's dark as fuck in here.
Lucy Lawless.
Me and the Prez need a new vehicle. Oh, these guys are coming. Hello. Let them get close. Let's go Sandebastan. 1, 2. There's 3. Where'd he go? I will say it's a little confusing, like when you do go slow mode. It's like everything goes green like that. It's kind of hard to see shit. Crouch down here. here while we reload. Stay down.
Yeah. Wonder if how many people went with Sandevistan builds after Edge Runners came out.
Right. Exactly. I haven't found all the clothing items that they added. I want to do that. Because, like, David's jacket, the trauma team, like the yellow jacket his mom had.
Yeah.
That's there.
I thought maybe I got it wrong. Maybe they changed it since, but I thought they just, like, put it in your wardrobe. You just go home.
Shit, maybe? I haven't checked my stash in a long fucking time. And you can do that just from the back of a vehicle, too. Oh, is this a baddie?
Anybody with red, I think.
What are you doing out here? Where's my prez?
The music in this game, too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, she was invisible for a
like,
second.
score and, like, music for it was really good.
2 over there. Let's go. Yeah, I agree. Let's fucking rip and tear with the Mantis Blades and the Sandevistan. Boom, hit it. Double jump.
Oh, Chrissy, he's fucked up.
Full dismember. How does it work on mech?
Oh, real good.
Yeah, it seems that way.
Pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Oh, now I can go invisible. Oh, wait, no, never mind. Here, it's for you. Someone hiding over here. Okay, bye. Bye. Oops. Let's switch back to some.
Pop his head off.
There's no stop. V's on her way. We should probably steal another car then.
And we should take another call.
Yeah, let's take another call. I love it.
Park Place.
Hey, what's up, boys?
Interrupted your
Hey,
conversation.
what's happening?
All good.
How the hell are ya?
I'm doing great.
How
here.
you
Thanks
doing,
for asking.
Choom?
Target's motorized.
Doing fantastic.
Don't let him escape.
What's up, boys? I was just watching you guys play. And
Okay, good to hear it.
Yeah, I was watching and I was like, oh, they just started playing Cyberpunk. I just got this on my Steam Deck like 3 days ago.
Are you doing the Phantom Liberty or like the core game?
I'm doing Phantom Liberty for sure.
Okay, nice.
I was like, am I feeling this? Not really. And then yeah, once it got going, I was like, oh, hell yeah, it's great. I played Cyberpunk 2077 for the first time on a launch edition PS4, and it is completely broken.
Did it not work well for you?
It was like there's like like that scene where you're like in a car with Takamura and you're like being chased by Arasaka guys. None of the guys were there, and if they were there, they were T-posing while like jumping onto your car. Like it was like fighting through the glitches to get through the game.
That's cool.
I hear ya. I enjoyed it.
Yes.
I heard from people that played on a PS4, like a launch PS4, right?
Yeah.
That it played fine for him. Like I think our buddy Fingers, I think when he played the first round, it was just working great on his PS4 for him.
Day one was tough.
Day one,
but even then, it was like it just depended on where you were in the map, honestly, and if you were. Like,
I had some
moving too
Takamura
fast.
glitches for sure, where like shit wouldn't load, so I couldn't finish a mission forever. So I just like waited a year until I could finish that actual part of the story.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I'm like a huge Cyberpunk fan. Not when they first announced it, but when they first were like, here's our like first trailer for Cyberpunk 2077. I was like, this looks sick.
Yeah.
What is this all about? And it was like, oh, there was a tabletop RPG back in the day. That's like an 80s tabletop RPG.
I'd only heard
80s version
stuff.
of. Yeah.
Before...
So I like got super deep into that. I started DMing Cyberpunk 2020 for my friends.
Oh, really?
Which was the first time I had played an RPG or seen an RPG. I just did it off of the book, which was, I found out later, a terrible idea because Cyberpunk 2020 is super hardcore. Like, there's not really much healing abilities other than going to a hospital and just waiting a few days.
Dude, yeah, that's
shit like that.
Ain't that the fucking truth? We learned the hard way, right, Mace?
Oh yeah.
It was like hospital visits after every encounter.
Right.
Or spend money that you don't have, go into debt. Towards the end there, we got a player who was classified as, what was it? Trauma team? Or
Yeah, it was a
Ooh.
medic.
they
I
were a
think.
medic.
Yeah.
Yeah, trauma. Oh, sick.
So we never had anyone playing. Like, I was an engineer. We had a
Likewise.
solo. We had a
If I
nomad,
never make it
which was
back,
great
it'll
for
be
having a
too soon.
car and for having like a heavy combatant.
Mhm.
We had a hacker, a net runner, but finally, I think the last key was we got someone to play with a medical class, and that really, I think, opened the game up right before we stopped, where it was like, oh shit, we don't have to go to the hospital now. We can like patch each other up on the spot with
Yeah,
her abilities
definitely.
pretty well.
Yeah. Even
And I
then,
know
it was
you
pretty-
guys are
it's
playing
pretty limited.
Cyberpunk Red, right?
Yeah. Yes, we were. Right, Mace?
Yeah, we're
I
playing
know-
Cyberpunk, right?
Yeah.
Cyberpunk Red, they were like, we fixed some of the more insanely difficult stuff from 2020. Like, Cyberpunk 2020, it has the same like difficulty levels for dice, but you only play with D10s, so they're really depending on you hitting the crit on a 10, so you can re-roll it again and add on to that.
That's
Um,
that's good when that happens for sure.
It's good when that happens, but it's like when it doesn't, it's like, well, that sucks. This is impossible. This is super hard.
Yeah. I had never understood the like the cursed dice. You know, like why do all my friends that play D&D have so many dice? It's like sometimes like they're just not rolling, and I feel like I first experienced that in Cyberpunk, where it was like, yo, I rolled the worst. I need new D10s. 'cause
Yeah.
there's
Yeah,
something wrong.
100%.
I gotta try different dice this game. That would happen.
Every
I'd
single
alternate
dice
dice.
has its own personality and soul, and
Yeah.
sometimes they're just cursed.
And Mace had us custom made Cyberpunk D10s for our
Sick.
crew.
Kind of
That was they
museum.
were really fucking cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I like those dice.
Yeah, same man.
Yeah, I love DMing. I love doing like custom stuff for people. Like I would do Cyberpunk. Our second time playing, I surprised all of them with minis of their characters that I painted.
That's always cool.
Oh, that's
so that
awesome.
they looked like their character. Like one guy had like an all chrome like duster, and so I found like a cowboy figure, and then I like repainted it. So that
Oh,
it
and you
was, like,
customized it to your
custom,
game with them.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
exactly.
rad.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
That's always
and so like I didn't tell them I was doing that, and then when it started, I just pulled out like a board that had like a layout of the apartment. They're like, okay, for sure, because they were like raiding this Clown Posse guy's apartment. And
Bunch
like,
of bozos.
I was just like, all right, so here's Dante, here's this guy, all the different characters, and they were like freaking out. That was, I'll never forget.
That's
That was
cool.
awesome.
Yeah, I remember somebody who was watching us play D&D made us dice box based on.
Based
our
on your
character.
your game.
Like actual like felt on the inside, magnets to seal the tops.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, it was really cool. I still have it. I'll have it forever.
If you watch our
Three,
D&D
2,
saga, which I wanted to plug, you can find. Maybe Brian can throw a link up, but on
Head for the
Mega
elevator,
64's
just across the
archives,
room.
which is our second YouTube channel, all of the adventures that
Hansen's house.
Mason DM'd for us are up there.
Gotta find
You
the
can
elevator.
check out the
Send it
whole
home.
journey up to where it is currently.
Hell yeah.
And you made, I know, like the map was customized for us.
Mm-hmm.
The hexagonal map, and then the characters you painted for, Birdie Boy and
Yeah.
my name was Lynn. I forget Rocco's name was Zeromus.
Yeah.
Those we still have here. They're in Derek's office. Those came out great. But yeah, it's being the game master or the dungeon master. It's cool if you could put in that level of work and surprise your players like that. Like that must be awesome, man. So you
sure.
paint. You're into the minis.
I haven't been doing it as much recently, but yeah, I was getting into that. When I first started, it was like, I'm super into RPGs. Like I just kind of hyper focused on that for a while.
Sure.
Eventually I like found out about D&D, and I was like, oh, this is more what I've been looking for. Kind of.
This
I
fits.
transitioned over to that. It's just like the game mechanics work better for me than Cyberpunk, but I do wish that it had that world. I think the Cyberpunk world is a lot more interesting to me, and I wish that there was more like
It's so fleshed out.
solid upgrade trees and stuff like that for the RPG, rather than just like, oh yeah, just get more chrome or whatever. Because I'm always like, oh yeah, well, I'll start you guys off with some money, and then they're like, however they do it, they're like, well, we're gonna find the way to get the most money possible and just get chromed out completely. And I'm like, oh, I don't know how to hold you guys
But then
back.
you're gonna have a bunch
Like,
of cyber psychos. That's how you hold them back.
Exactly.
I mean, the
Yeah,
game
exactly.
is kind of like streamlined to keep you, balanced. But
Definitely.
that's another thing that Mace got me into recently was like painting the miniatures. Oh, I'm like obsessed right now. Like I've been doing.
That seems like something you specifically would be super into.
I've been
Like,
so into that. We talked about it a couple weeks ago on the PPS, but yeah, I'm working on getting that whole Steam Forged Resident Evil 2 set painted.
Ooh.
And I'm coming close. We played with it was that Thursday?
Yeah.
And I think we played with all, in that campaign specifically, we got to use all painted miniatures. We didn't have to go to any primered stuff.
That's sick.
So I'm getting close.
Yeah, it's crazy how much better that makes the game feel too. Like it's a fun game, but it just like there's like an extra level of like immersion just having the color on the figures.
Yeah, and having I think like I've invested now all this work into them. It's like, ooh, I really want to play this game more.
Yeah,
I've spent so much time
That
making these
100%,
figures.
yeah.
I gotta play more.
Yeah.
We've been
Your
meeting
your brain
up,
starts thinking more about it when you're not playing, and you're like coming up with new ideas and new
100%.
things like that. Just investing more time into it always makes it more fun.
I haven't
just being more
honestly,
invested in it.
I haven't been playing
emotionally.
video games because at night I've been painting minis like in my living
Hell yeah,
house.
dude.
I've just been putting on wrestling and like, all right, kind of absorb this through the commentary, and I've just been trying to get through this whole Steamforged set. And then I also started buying some expansions, so I got some more minis to paint. All hell's breaking
I'm excited
loose.
at one point to get into that Resident Evil game.
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna say is, since our Cyberpunk game kind of ended, Mace and I have been meeting up bi-weekly just to play tabletop board games.
Yeah.
So we played like the Cyberpunk
Combat Zone,
and that was a lot of fun. Mace, a couple weeks ago you showed me Car Wars, which is a game that you really like.
Yeah.
Which is very like Warhammer style. We've done Zombicide, and then most recently, yeah, we played through my. We've done actually like 3 campaigns of the Resident Evil 2 Steamforged board game.
Yeah, we got it when before you started painting, we played it.
Yeah.
Just to give it a go, and that game's fun, man.
I was so intimidated by it because one time Kevin and I, we got together for a board game night, but it was like, okay, let's crack this open and check it out and read the instruction manual, and it was like, oh, we should have done this like a couple hours ago because there's a lot. But
oh yeah, those tabletop ones are like crazy.
Oh, we got a psycho here.
I've had that exact same thing happen where I'm like, oh yeah, this I have like this Star Wars X-Wing starter pack, and even that's like pretty small in terms of like random shit that you have to do. But that was like, oh, we thought we were just gonna play board game, and this is like we had to learn a whole new system and like, tabletop gets intense for sure.
Yeah.
Especially when you aren't when you're playing it for the first time. It's like I had to set a whole day aside for this.
Oh
Definitely.
yeah. I feel that way, like how much work must go into like prepping a game that you're about to DM, or like, you know. Yeah, tabletop is its own thing because you're setting up miniatures or a map or whatever. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
That's half the fun for me. But I could see a bunch of people showing up to play a board game and you're like, hold on, I have to set up these walls for another half hour, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You got to know what you're getting into. I think that night me and Kevin were just like, there's a lot to this game. I thought it was going to be, you know, previously I had played the Resident Evil deck building game.
Wow.
Just a card game, though. Really simple. Like, you know, card games don't have as many
deck builders
mechanics.
usually are pretty, intuitive. You can figure it out.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah, all the rules are on the cards. You don't have to like know a big rule book to play.
Okay, here goes.
Oh, here we start this section I failed
Park
over
Plays.
again.
What an awesome.
Yeah, thanks for calling, Park.
Yeah. Any parting words?
Good to hear from you.
Love the show, guys. Love all the Mega 64 shit.
We sure do love you.
So sad to have missed you guys' farewell tour, but thankfully I was able to score a Blu-ray the other day.
Awesome.
Super excited to watch that when it gets in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
everybody at home, shop.mega64.
I believe they're still up. If you go to shop.mega64, if you want to get the tour Blu-ray or the first tour Blu-ray, so it's Last Laugh and Farewell.
And I have that Blu-ray, and I bought it at the tour. I saw you guys in LA. It was awesome.
Hell yeah.
So we're going to reprint those. I think they're still up for sale. We're just going to do a second batch now that we're launching our second Blu-ray for the second tour. We just wanted to give people access to the first one again. So,
a lot of people miss.
Order right now, shop.mega64.com. Just like our homie Park Plays says. Thanks for calling, man.
Peace.
Absolutely, boys. Have a good night.
Oh, I'm getting grenaded.
Good calls tonight. Very good.
Great calls. Good calls. This guy's got a Sand Devastan too. All right. Two can play at this game.
Working on it. Hold on tight.
Run circles around him. He can't get me. Oh, well, if I stand directly in front of him, Brian, he might get me.
And I'm so excited for that, the live show DVD.
Yeah.
You know, not if you don't mind me putting you guys over for a little bit.
Oh,
like,
please.
Saw I was lucky enough to see the kickoff of the tour here in San Diego, and I'd seen the previous live show you guys did, and it's like really freaking cool, and it's something totally different than like I guess what you'd expect from like your skits and stuff.
Yeah,
it's
seeing the
cool.
skits on the stage, like the skit character. How does that translate to like being on a stage? Like
and putting it all, I imagine was tough to like put it all together into like what's it like a 2-hour format that you guys went with, like
just about
live, like no breaks, nothing, no YouTube ads in between.
Right.
Just if you haven't seen it, like check out some of the preview videos, but it's worth catching them live. Like it's really awesome if you can catch them live, but the DVD looks like a really great production of it too.
I think we fell in love too with I think the guys fell back in love with the stage because that's kind of how they met,
Right.
And I certainly fell in love with being on stage and getting to like DJ that whole thing. Oh my God, Sean is here!
Oh my God!
You sit down. You sit down. You don't give a fuck about this dance, bro.
Hi, Sean. How's
it? Bro.
How's it going? You want to jump on a mic? Let him hear ya.
Hello, everyone.
It's Sean.
I just came in to say a quick hello.
A quick hello.
I was like, oh, let Garrett do his thing. I'm like, no, I'm going to say hello. Brian's here, Mason's here. I can't not say hi.
Yeah.
To my friends.
To your friends. We were reminiscing on old times in the Dungeons and Dragon days with Birdie Boy, and we were talking about Cyberpunk.
You know what, my
Dagmar?
Beckett just started playing Dungeons and Dragons.
I was telling Mace,
Yeah,
and he was like so hooked, he gave you the full rundown.
Loved it.
He's
I
like,
drove him home, and he was
this
like,
happened.
and this happened, and we did this, went to this cave, and he was like super into it.
That's
so.
great.
You're
Yeah,
like,
so cool.
I've been to the cave.
Yeah.
I fought the Groks.
And I told him, like, if you find a ring, you gotta put it on, see what happens. And he's like, they tell you shouldn't do that. I'm like, I know, but
oh yeah,
you gotta figure out.
It's worked out for everyone else who's put that
Dagmar
random ring
put
on.
on every ring.
Every ring.
He put on rings he didn't even own.
No,
He'd
he
steal
found
them.
it just to see what would happen. Most of the time it's just a ring, but sometimes it really fucked things up.
I'm curious to find out, how you and Alfonso with the quick hands, ended up. So much left unsaid.
So much. Well, everyone, I am gonna go edit a little bit, but I wanted to say hello to everyone here.
Thank you for stopping in.
Yeah.
Online, everyone here in the room. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
It's good to see you.
y'all.
Hello.
Bro!
Okay, we're back at it. Oh, I got it. You just set it down. Okay. I got you.
Bye, Sean.
Bye, Sean.
Bye, Sean.
Bro!
I cranked that. Okay, resume. So, I guess I should stay in cover?
Myers, we gotta engage him. Song's on the case.
My play style was just sucking down those mid things, just shoot and suck.
There's a new play style to a thing they added, I think called Adrenaline. See how my health is like in the yellow?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I think I get extra stats when my shit's yellowed out like that too.
Sweet.
So it kind of helps to take a little meds before a firefight.
Yeah, you gotta be a med junkie.
Oh yeah. Well, I was just starting to get into that with Cyberpunk Red. It was like some of our crew was starting to secretly message the DM, and they were taking drugs behind our back.
What?
Which we kind of realized what's Crunk doing? Why is he talking to the DM in private? I don't know. And he'd be like, no, I'm good. It was it was really subtle, but then we kind of all found out he's on Black Chrome or whatever they call the drug that he was on in the game. But it was boosting his stats, but he was role-playing like he was trying to keep the habit a secret, which was, I thought, really fun.
Yeah, that's actually really creative.
There's moments like that around the table that would happen. It would just be I've never played anything like this. This doesn't happen unless you're sitting around a table with friends.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna take that big fucking gun he's got right now. Give it to me, son. Oh, wait. Maybe he didn't have a big one.
Can't pick up every gun.
I thought he had a big job, but he didn't. It was a regular job. Okay. Let's spit fire with this thing. President's taking crossfire. Let me save her ass.
Laying down
Nice and
suppressing fire.
easy. Oh, you're coming around the corner?
Throw a grenade, man.
Oh, you're right, dude. I've got them. Oh, they just threw one. Shit, now I threw it behind the wall.
God damn it.
There it goes. Incendiary my ass. They're all on fire. Okay, I gotta get back to cover.
The president's handling business over there.
She really is.
Wall,
Like
man.
rapid.
Okay. Blade time with the Sandeva stand. I heard him pop. Who else is alive? Oh, shit. I feel like that's firing from somewhere else.
Yeah, Songbird, I think, might be ready.
Fuck.
Whoa.
Okay. She hacked that thing? Good thing it's on our side. All right.
This has got me wanting to just pop in the game when I get home.
Good job.
That thing's cool. Where were those in the main campaign, man? Those things are awesome.
I remember some people were kind of upset about this game because you don't go into cyber psychosis.
If you go too chromed out or what?
Yeah, like, well, there's like that stat is not even available.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's like,
B's kind of special.
right.
Songbird,
Also, the entire time
what's
you're
with
fucking
you?
already going through cyber psychosis with Johnny's infection.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's like,
I feel like that makes up for it. It's like your character is, I guess, immune to cyber psychosis because she's already possessed by Johnny Silverhand. Maybe.
It felt like a larger virus is outweighing the smaller one.
This game also is fucking loud.
Oh yeah.
But we are not friends anymore, apparently, with the giant walking tank.
Son of a bitch went haywire!
For fuck's sake, show me! Slap a muzzle on the thing!
Let me try.
Well, that's useful.
This way!
Yeah.
Just got flee.
Cut the
Oh,
gas
just
tank.
flee. Yeah, it says flee. You're right. Oh, she's holding the door for me.
Yeah, she should have invested in some cyber arms.
Yeah.
Needs help opening up the door.
Oh, that didn't do much. Well, Atom Smasher wasn't much of a threat when I was end game, so maybe this is going to be like the new Bag Bad for the DLC. You're just like slow-mo running too. This is worse than trying to get out of the hospital. Oh yeah, slide.
Crouch.
Eventually I'll get it. Oh fuck! No! Okay. It's a quick time thing, I think. Oh, flatline. Alright, well, it can happen.
Sometimes a robot's got to squish you.
Yeah. I was made to be a bug. Mace, I wanted to bring up, too, that you work in the games industry.
Yeah. Make video games.
So some of the viewers out there might have played games you've worked on and play games you will be working on or currently working on.
Yeah.
I know there's probably a lot of stuff you can't talk about.
For sure. For sure.
But yeah, where could you give us a little rundown?
Yeah, I mean, I think the easiest rundown is I work for Plastic Fern Studios. If you're big on indie games, especially on Switch and stuff, you'll find our logo at the front of a lot of those.
Plastic Fern. It's a very cute logo, I will say as well.
Yeah, we've got the core logo. This is actually a Plastic Fern shirt.
Yeah,
too.
check that fucking thing out, dude. That thing is sick.
Yeah. But that was a friend artist company. I wish I could remember their name. The owner of the company had it commissioned or had it done just as like a cool, like, you know, death metal, like,
just for all the
variant,
employees,
right?
Yeah.
But the normal logo is just this cute little potted plant, so it's great the difference there. But yeah, I mean, we touched on like Untitled Goose Game was a big game. We touched on
we made a video for that.
It was a big game when it came out. And all kinds of stuff. Oxenfree, we've worked on the Oxenfree games.
I think when we initially met you, too, we should talk about, like, all of us here at Mega 64 know Mason from the Super Awesome Showdown days, where Mace and a bunch of his homies all ran a local indie wrestling promotion that Eric Badur, Brian, Derek, you guys all did commentary, live commentary for their wrestling shows. Ike started coming in and filming, like, ringside using Derek's old DSLR.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how I met, like, Mace, Victor, like, all of you guys, and eventually started training in wrestling with you guys. And back then, we knew you because I think we all met through the Behemoth.
So I think
a long time ago.
Yeah, well, I think it was.
Was that the original meeting? Was like because of Behemoth homies?
So I think I met Eric actually, and I didn't know about the connection to Mega 64.
Okay.
Like really at the time, he was like a friend of a friend who was like introduced. Like we were looking for commentators, a commentary team.
Right.
We had just been kind of like asking friends who maybe kind of knew wrestling or whatever, like kind of whoever could do it got in, but we hit the point where like we need someone who knows wrestling and like knows what they're doing on commentary, and someone said they knew the right person, which was Eric.
And, oh boy, did they!
Yeah, and Eric is amazing. And yeah, it was Eric and Derek, and then when he brought Derek down to where we were training and running shows, I was like, he's from Mega 64. Like I recognized Derek immediately.
Oh shit! So
as
really,
like a fan
it's
of
Eric
the
is
show.
the connection.
Yeah. So that was the connection there, and I probably started working at the Behemoth maybe in or around that time.
In or around that time, because that's I knew like a few of the guys over there, and then it was like, oh yeah, come film this wrestling thing. I'm doing commentary.
Yeah.
Oh, and this guy Mace also works at the Behemoth, and I was like, oh, small world.
Yeah.
Because I think that's how I was introduced to you. But then again, Eric did start a little before I came into film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love
Might
seeing
have done
him.
a show before. Yeah.
Yeah, I love seeing him out there in Texas doing AAPW as their announcer. He dropped the bill for real, but Eric Badur is out there doing this now, like, at all their shows. Like, live announcing and then cutting promos and everything, and I'm, like, so happy to see him do that and to know that start came out of, like, us fucking around with the Super Awesome stuff. It was, like, super cool to, like, get let back into that area, too, because that's something that I'm finding out now, having trained wrestling with you.
Yeah.
It's like a sacred place, the locker room area.
Oh, yeah. Can be.
And I probably shouldn't even have been back there as a filmer, but I was just, it was at those indie shows, there's not much to have in the way of like locker room space.
Yeah.
So it was like, yeah, I didn't go in the tent out in the back parking lot, but I was still out in the back parking lot hanging out. And it just felt like super cool to be like with Mega 64, like a part of a group.
Yeah.
I really did feel like, oh, I'm a part of this super awesome thing. Like I'm helping them film these shows and like got to know everyone through there. And
yeah, you were killing it. Actually, probably the biggest compliment you ever gave me is I think you showed up to a show. I was like, oh, hey, cool. It's good to see you. Like, are you filming tonight? And you're like, no, I just want to watch.
Oh,
and there's
yeah.
a couple of shows that you came where you're just like,
oh yeah,
I just want to watch. And I was like, that's awesome that you were into just seeing the show at that point.
Oh,
not
totally.
Not just down to do a job, but like you wanted to watch the show.
Definitely, yeah. Oh, I learned all the characters. I had a great time. Sorry if that controller is like falling on you too. You can push that back. So. I just noticed that as I died. Sorry.
No, yeah, it was.
Viewers, I'm gonna start paying attention here. I swear.
Yeah. Why start now?
Fuck you.
I just remember it was really cool to just know that there was something local in San Diego that was all like grassroots.
Yeah. And so different too.
Yeah.
Because Super Awesome really was a cosmic showcase with lighting and video and music and like so much more than also a cool indie wrestling promotion that was like doing something that was over the top with the whole galaxy theme and the like superhero
video game
kind
power
of
up
like
matches.
Feel. Yeah, it was so out of the box. Really ahead of its time. But we're getting away from gaming. I was originally talking to you about what was the name of the company again?
Plastic Burn
Plastic
Studio.
Burn. That's
Yeah.
why can't I duck? I can't crouch.
Yeah, but we try to help basically a lot of like smaller indie companies who couldn't do it otherwise, like get onto bigger platforms. And whether that's like release management, like if they're, if they know how to build a Switch game but don't know how to like get it to Nintendo so that Nintendo will release it or meet Nintendo's requirements. We'll help them in that way, or we do ports and stuff like that. And that's kind of but if you see our logo on a bunch of games, that's usually the kind of work that we've been doing as we're like...
You're lending a hand to all those titles. To multiple titles at once, I assume.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And, as we're building like our own games, like using that to keep the lights on.
Gotcha.
As we build our own games in the background. So.
I would have never saw it coming that the Switch would have been this like indie darling. It ends up, I feel like I play more and I have friends that download more indie games on the Switch console, which I think previously was so hard to get stuff on when it was like the Wii U store or the Wii store. It was like, ooh, Nintendo's pretty tight with that.
Yeah.
But now,
yeah, the floodgates are open.
I really feel that way. Yeah.
Well, they saw what Xbox did,
Yeah. Yeah. I want to say it was probably the failure of the Wii U, where like all the third parties just said, we're not putting anything out. We're not gonna spend time because your user base isn't big enough.
Yeah.
So, but they saw there was a bunch of indies who were like down to clown on the Wii U, so they started supporting them and doing events and stuff, highlighting indie games, and made it a big part of their platform. That was at least my like perspective on that time period, where it maybe sucked financially a little bit for Nintendo, but as far as like opening up their eyes to what indie and small developers can do, like I think that's where they finally took notice.
Yeah, definitely. They saw it with the 3DS, I think. And then they were really, I feel like, weary of doing that as a main market move, but
it opens
the Wii U
yourself up.
dropped. Yeah. Oh, get in the elevator?
I don't know if I need to get in now. I honestly, it's like survive until the elevator comes, but I don't know how you survive that giant blast in the room.
Right. Me neither.
Yeah, the wisest wizards in the chat. Even Portal Collection got a Switch release.
Yeah.
and then there's companies out there like Limited Run Games who are doing physical releases of these indie titles on Switch, I think primarily. I see a lot of those from Limited Run when I go to the con. It's like, God, they have so many Nintendo fucking games. Like,
yeah.
Most of these are not PS4 cases at their booth. It's Switch stuff. But yeah, very cool. I'm gonna fucking get through this if it kills me. Slide! Did it? Oh, we didn't catch the slide.
Damn.
It stood her up. Oh well. We're dodging that. Gets back to a cutscene. Flee the Chimera. This is giving me like a Ghost in the Shell vibes, right?
Yeah.
Like that final tank that they fight in the first movie.
Yeah, that tank is super Ghost in the Shell.
Yes. Which is, again, probably a huge inspiration to Ponce.
Yeah. Elevator on the way.
So cool that he's still, like, around, and I've seen him, like, in interviews, and, like...
Maybe move around?
I love that, like, this is still all being supported, and hopefully this game keeps getting DLCs. I would like to see... I'd like to see one after this, too, yeah. And, oh, shit. Oh, shit. And then I'm probably going to be buying Combat Zone 2077 now that I've heard about it.
Yeah. Elevator's here.
Elevator's here.
Is it? No.
It looks like it. Open.
Get in there.
I used the Sandevistan, I think.
Liars, get in.
We got it. We got to the... As long as, like, I hit open before it fires, I think we got it. Oh, no! I sacrificed myself. Okay, here's the downfall.
Couldn't get rough.
Right there. Oh, I didn't get to actually shoot it. I just had to do a dialogue. That was interesting. It's like, choose this one dialogue tree. You'll shoot the board.
What now?
I bet you different shit happens if you don't jump, you know?
Maybe.
I don't know if you necessarily die or...
Grab this. Oh, it's giving me, like, second chances because I can't make some of these. Oh, no. It's got the Metal Gear spikes on the feet of it. Just like,
Look out!
Just like Rex. Poor V just gets ragdolled to hell and back. The president's plane hits her off of a fucking stadium. It's like Ethan falling back down to the basement 4 different times in Resident Evil 8.
Yeah.
Oh, here
Thrown down.
We're back down again. wait up! I've got the pantsuit here.
No. Guess not.
Right. Good.
Man, hey, we briefly talked about Mania. I think we've all pretty much watched. I watched a lot of like single matches of over the 2 days, but I know Mason, you were saying like that's like the one wrestling event you kind of do pay attention to now.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just like jaded or
That's
just I've
all?
been wrestling for so long that
You'll
like
walk it off.
I see the.
You see the Matrix.
Yeah, I see the Matrix. So like I don't. So when I watch a show, I'm always like I'm analyzing it, or I just see the patterns and I kind of already know what's happening and what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So it's hard to surprise me. But it's like yeah, Mania. Sometimes I'll try to catch New Japan.
Okay.
Try to catch what's their big show? Wrestle Kingdom.
Wrestle Kingdom, I think, was that their latest pay-per-view that Moxley just won the IWGP or?
No, that was
It was a pay-per-view, right?
That was Windy City Heat.
Oh, okay. Anyway, Johnny told me that's a really good pay-per-view, so I might check that out. But yeah, I can understand what you're saying. Like, I think when I first started training with you, Mason, I was watching religiously.
Yeah.
And then I started to enjoy training more than watching.
Yeah.
But then you guys kind of told me, like, hey, it's kind of like, don't give up on watching them. I think Victor told me this too. Make sure you're still watching because you do kind of have open eyes for the first time now that you're training with us and seeing it. You can kind of like apply the stuff you're seeing on the screen next week in training. And I felt that though, that it was like a little harder to watch when I'm like not paying attention to the entertainment and the story. I'm just pausing and rewinding and like, oh, how did he hit that so perfect?
Yeah.
How does Claudio Castagnoli make those German uppercuts just fucking mwah? Those European uppers are just so good. Mine look like dog shit in slow motion.
Right.
But I was doing so much like that, like analyzing the tapes, that I wasn't enjoying it. But I'm back. I'm flipped back around because AEW I feel like is really exciting. I feel like we're in a console war of wrestling companies right now.
Yeah.
Which is the stupidest fucking thing to argue over which is better.
Yeah, when all of them are fun.
When all of them are at the peak, I feel like both companies, if we're talking AEW and WWE, I feel like they're both like so on fire because there's such a fucking interest in pro wrestling. Yeah. I'm a fucking huge fan of it and have been now, really hardcore about it for, I don't know, when did I start training? About a year and a half ago?
Yeah. About 2 years.
Yeah. And before that, I watched casually. Like, remember when Eric lived with me, Brian? Like, that's really when I started WWE stuff. But now I've fallen in love with just the type of wrestling that AEW puts on. And I can still appreciate, and I don't need to talk shit about WWE. Because it's just as entertaining, it's just a different thing.
Yeah, WWE is going to be crazy now that Vince is gone, too.
Yes. And I think we just finally starting to see Triple H now kind of starting to do stuff that normally Vince would never do.
Yeah. Well, I know they've been like, for example, Vince would never allow you to call it pro wrestling.
That's true.
Oh,
Yeah.
wrestling entertainment.
It's
Sports
entertainment. Yeah. So, you couldn't call the people who are fighting wrestlers. They were superstars, right?
Yeah.
All these things to sort of like kind of distance it from the, I guess the core, like what the performing art was before. And that's kind of like they're making a big point to say like that is no longer the case at WWE.
Very interesting. I know, one thing that Tony Khan does is he lets his wrestlers go wrestle other places, right? Like you got Jon Moxley winning the IWGP in Japan.
Yeah.
I would love, man, and I've seen people ask this question in interviews to Tony or to, you know, different people that work for the companies. Like, do you ever think there could be some loan out between the two TV promotions?
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, never say never, but man, what if there was ever crossover? If anyone, it would never happen under Vince, but maybe now under new rules, like, we could see that.
I mean, why do you think Cody Rhodes is the world champion?
Well, and Cody Rhodes, yeah, exactly. I was gonna say though, like AEW's been cutting promos, and they're like obviously acknowledging WWE entertainers. Like the Edge is for the first time on TV, or what's his name now, Adam Copeland.
Yeah.
He cut a promo and he talked about, and he said the words WWE in a Dynamite episode, right?
Yeah.
I feel like
acknowledged them since the beginning.
Well, that's something that the old man would never do. I don't think the old man. I don't think Vince would have ever said AEW on his broadcast. And it's still, I don't think Triple H has done that.
No.
But they're at least, you know, they're letting Jade Cargill keep her music. They're still calling her Jade Cargill. I think these are like steps forward, right?
Yeah. I mean, Cody kept their music too.
Yes, which I'm embedded now in my head because after he won, I watched the 2 hours of him still on stage with everyone, and it was just like, wow, I've sung this song over and over again for a week. I think it's finally out of my head, man. Whoa! I was just doing that forever. Oh, stinger misses. That's fun.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. I mean, I think AEW, because WWE is like 10 orders of magnitude larger than AEW still.
100%.
And I think AEW really, like, if they can elevate, like, I think the people that they have on their show are worth having matches with, you know. I think they should have matches with each other. I think that'd be great for both promotions and the people behind it, but, and especially the wrestlers, right? Like, get to work with people that they don't get to work with all the time.
Yeah, dream matches, getting to work with people, and I think in the end, all the bitching and everything aside, is funny because it's just like you're online just helping both companies advertise. Like you're talking about them.
Oh yeah.
Whether you hate WWE or you hate AEW, you bitching online means you're a pro wrestling fan, and that's kind of what Adam Copeland's promo was a couple weeks ago. And it was corny and cheesy. I really liked it, and I really liked the message of it. Because I say that about video game fans. It's like, fucking quit bitching about them online and just go play them.
Yeah.
And enjoy them. But there's been this console war that's the stupidest thing that's existed for years, and now it's tribalism, right? It happens in every forefront.
Oh, yeah.
Do I have grenade scope? Yeah, here we go. Oh, he's flying. That doesn't help.
Yeah, and it's the same thing. I'm old enough to remember WCW and ECW, right? There was a brief period of time where like it was the big three, not even the big two. It was WWF, WCW, and ECW were all the televised shows. And it was the same thing then. Like, you know, some people just loved WCW and hated WWE and WWF.
And I think that the companies are both going like, yeah, we love that you're picking a side.
Yeah.
Much like the politicians in this country.
Yeah, please watch us so that you can complain about us online.
Yeah. Like,
better than not, right?
So what that there's a
ratings
CM Punk
ratings.
chat. Yeah. Who cares? I don't think Tony Khan really cares that they're chanting CM Punk after they showed the Jack Perry footage.
Oh.
Which, by the way, Brian, I showed and analyzed on last week's PPS.
Yeah.
And then when I uploaded it, Tony Khan gave me a copyright strike. It was like, oh yeah, I full screened that TV show. You know, it was property of Dynamite that Wednesday night. So when I tried to upload it, it was like, oh yeah, no, this is not. So I had to trim that out of the archive. But we watched the Punk and Jack Perry drama, and a lot of people commented like, oh, this isn't good, they shouldn't have done this, and my whole thing is like, dude, I'm so into the gossip of what's going on. Just like I was into the gossip of Vince McMahon being prosecuted for all his heinous shit, I was fucking interested, because as a human, we love the chismosa. We love the fucking gossip, right? So hell yeah, I want to see Jack Perry and CM Punk actually fight because I've heard about it for 6 months. And it doesn't really matter. I don't think Tony Khan cares that they're chanting CM Punk in the audience at his show because he's getting fucking crazy ratings from that, right?
Yeah, and if 2,000 people bought tickets to my show that chant CM Punk's name, like, go for it.
Yeah. Hey,
Go
where?
for it.
Hold a sign up that says our show sucks. It's fine. They allow that in the building.
Yeah, I feel like people don't understand.
Half the fun of being at a pro wrestling show is being in on like,
Yeah.
fuck, like I want to be a dick too. I'm a heel. You know?
Yeah.
Be an AEW heel at an AEW show. You still bought a ticket.
Well,
Which
that's the biggest thing that
they need
people
all the
don't-
help they can get.
They don't understand as viewers of wrestling. Like, in some ways, it's good to be on the side that, you know, Mason and you are describing, where you've seen or you've booked shows or you know, booked matches yourself, and you understand that, like, honestly, it doesn't fucking matter if it's the thing you wanted them to chant for. They're there, they're engaged, and they're chanting. You've sold your seat. You've made your, you know,
Your wrestlers are getting paid. All your workers
Yeah.
are not injured, and everyone's having a good time. Yeah, let them say fuck you.
Who gives a shit if they like it or not? Like, people think that it matters to the creator or the owners of the company that, like, you like their product. It's like, no, I don't care if you like it. What I like is if you're spending money on my product. And especially in wrestling, that's kind of all that matters. Are you making your fucking venue? Are you clearing your costs for your wrestlers and all your shit? Like, yeah, okay. Turn to
Are
profit.
you watching through the commercial?
Yeah, you watching through
Yeah.
the commercial? Are you staying engaged?
No, I'm fast forwarding through picture in picture. The worst invention in fucking sports television I've ever heard of is picture in picture.
I love that they just released the UK stream
Oh, the
on
Sky
like,
TV one?
Yeah, because then you get all the funny, stupid shit that they talk about there.
And
Otherwise, yeah.
That's the best. That's why I like Dynamite as a show the best, because I think Taz, Excalibur, and Tony Schiavone on commentary are
They're
maybe
great.
the funniest. It's better than any sketch comedy I could watch.
Oh, they're great.
On Netflix.
Their
It's-
chemistry's great.
And I would love to hear him behind the commercials, I think, because Taz says even crazier shit.
They do. They give each other more shit during the commercials.
I know. I'm missing it. All right, Sandevistan.
Yeah, that's one thing I think that WWE definitely has a deficit on versus
I don't like.
AEW is the commentary team. I think the people they have are, I mean, super veterans. Like
Yes, respected.
Taz and Tony Schiavone have been working together forever, right? Because they did commentary together on TNA forever. So they're really good. They got Jim Ross, who's probably the best sports broadcaster of all time.
Yes.
You know?
Over-encumbered.
You know, second to Eric Bauer, but
Yeah. You will say, and I've heard you say it before, that Rudy Haynes and Bill Ferrell, a.k.a. Eric and Derek, on commentary might be your favorite commentary team?
yeah, no, I do think them
That's
together,
a bold statement, man.
I think their chemistry is...
They were good, yeah.
They were.
I think it's on par with Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler. Like, I think they've just got that
that phrase.
synchronicity that they're, you know, it sucks. Like, hey, wrestling world, like, find out about, I mean, especially Eric's, but, you know, all in Texas right now.
Eric's like pretty hooked in with AAPW, and I've been retweeting their promotions. And if you're in Austin, oh my God, there is so much good wrestling. It seems like seems like pro wrestling has exploded in Austin.
It's always been a big wrestling area.
Yeah. But yeah, that claim that you appreciate them up there with JR and Jerry the King, that's that's high praise.
Yeah.
I mean, the highest praise.
And it's not I'm not blowing smoke up their ass. That is my honest opinion. If you ever get a chance, I don't know if we ever got any of them on our videos online, but man, if you want to see them turn our super awesome showdown matches into poetry,
Yeah.
you know, just get to watch it with their commentary.
Their chemistry back and forth, and yeah, that commentary duo was pretty fucking awesome. I gotta agree with you. I wonder if there is some stuff out there. If you search like the old super awesome showdowns on YouTube, there's like Cosmic Cuts and there's some stuff, but yeah, I don't know if there are commentaries in that stuff.
Yeah, there might be. I think there is. I haven't looked at it in a while,
Yeah, me
sadly,
neither.
but there's some full matches up there, and I know we tried to get commentary. It's like always a tech issue.
Yeah,
constant tech issues trying to do
Well, there
the
was
live
so
show
much.
like with the recording at the same time.
Yeah. And all the audio video that's also going into the venue.
Yeah. And our show, like, man, our show punched so far above, that show punched so far above its weight. Like, nobody knows how cheap that show was.
Yeah,
you know, like, as far as, like, how much it costs for us to put on, and it's only because everybody who worked on it, like, worked their asses off.
Yeah, I mean, you had people on it who were like, what was his name? The guy who ran the board.
Luciano?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Luciano
Luciano.
was like doing concerts at the time and like running like light boards for Saquon or VA House or some shit like that. And I remember like them trying to figure it all out with a MacBook and you know, some programs. Really impressive the amount of production that you guys put into it.
Yeah, Luciano was like absolutely genius. He would
He was really like an element that made Super Awesome like visually striking and different from any other wrestling promotion I'd ever seen. Like,
Yeah,
the
and-
amount of lighting equipment put into the venues when you guys did shows, it's like concert level stuff.
Mhm.
Safeguarding
he
the
did
nation.
his music. He
My
did the like sound and like audio design. I would say too. He built like suites of
Yeah.
music for all the characters. So, like if a character was winning, if a character was losing,
And it would be
they were
dynamic.
winning. Yeah, it was dynamic. It was mixed, and he didn't know what was going to happen. Right, because
Grab what you
it's
can.
not like we could
Let's
tell him,
head
yeah,
out.
this is going to happen, then he's going to start
There
winning,
has
then
to
he's
be
start
an
losing.
exit here,
Because we didn't
somewhere.
know, so he had to mix it on the fly, and it was like
Oh.
flawless. If you ever saw a show,
I remember that.
It
You
was
wouldn't be
insane.
able to tell, honestly, like, because now you telling me that, I knew that, but I had forgotten that because, yeah, it is so seamless and so flawless. Like, that soundtrack will change. Like, everyone has their entrance music, right?
Yeah.
But now we're scoring,
whole
Luciano
show.
is scoring the whole match.
I remember working with them on a few of the early shows and like a couple of the first Tango Del Rey shows.
Okay.
And they were like, yeah, I want to have it so that when they even like make a hit, I have like a sound for certain characters and certain moves and certain
So cool.
things.
What's this?
I don't know if they ever achieved that, but I remember like that was the ambition. It really was like a huge art flex for a lot of the people who would,
And
you
the
know,
theme
had a skill
shows,
on it.
oh, yeah. Back at the old, remember the first, I really liked, you talked about the Tango.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
used the Tango to film some stuff for our version 4 feature film. And we really liked that venue too. But man, the first venue that I started
Technomania
helping out,
Circus?
yeah, Technomania Circus, which was in, what side of San Diego is that? Like south?
Tango Del Rey, Pacific Beach. It's
Pacific-
like,
oh no, not Tango, the Technomania.
oh, Technomania. Oh,
That
yeah.
was like
it
on the other side of the 94.
It's like on the other side of Golden Hill. though.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
like, I forget the name of that area. It's
Yeah.
right before Barrio Logan.
But it was an
Logan
old,
Heights, maybe?
yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
It-
It's like
it-
I was on the cusp of like Barrio Logan and Logan Heights, I think. Yeah.
Authentic Mexican bakery right down the street,
Uh-huh.
and I would go get food there. Like if I got there early, and I would really enjoy just exploring that venue. That it was an old theater that you guys ran off the front of the stage. You guys built the ring too, which was super interesting. Like the whole alignment of that room and having a wrestling show in there, I thought was like so cool.
Dead quiet.
That place, just in general, because it was,
It was
like
cool as hell.
It was
Yeah.
like a real circus, and circus performers all lived there in the back.
Yeah. And I'm like Super Awesome Showdown. I don't think could have like become what it became
Without
without Technomania Circus, because they gave us like
Got a hatch here.
kind of the runway,
Can we jump,
you know,
maybe?
and the support.
Yeah.
Bruce and Valerie, who ran it. Their Technomania Circus is still running.
Still
Actually, they're
going.
doing not at that venue, but I know they have a 420 show here in San Diego. If you're not watching the live stream and you're in San Diego,
Yeah.
search those guys out.
Yeah, you can
'cause they're
pause
still doing stuff.
pause our stream and go check it out.
Yeah.
Victory Theater is what it was called, right?
Yeah.
That's right. That was the, and that theater must still be there, right? Just new owners.
Yeah.
It's the same owners, but it's just unfilled.
Oh,
yeah.
God, it was such a cool venue.
Hold up, V.
Because it was vintage,
Let's
right?
pause.
Yeah.
It
Like,
was, yeah, it was
Think
a
for a
super old
they
venue.
don't have
It's eating you. I don't
buildings
like
that
this.
are like
Can you try
feeling
calling
like the
somebody again?
1970s inside them that
Yeah.
often anymore. But
Okay,
this is one of
give it
those
a shot.
spots that still felt that way.
Yeah.
I need a songbird.
Vita Songbird.
Don't worry us, girl.
So, Yeah, Songbird must have like got separated from the president because she was my connection. Oh, Johnny's back.
Great to see it.
Where's Idris Elba?
Curb the enthusiasm.
Get John Wick out of here.
Never know. Could need me.
So?
Did anyone see Monkey Man?
Nothing.
Speaking of John Wick.
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen
I've
it.
heard it's great, but I'm just kind of burnt out on the genre.
So me.
I don't know about you, but like after like the third John Wick movie, and then like
something
was that one with Bob Odenkirk, Mr. Nobody, and then I've seen a couple other ones, and I'm just like, yo, I think I'm good.
Could they?
Yeah, and I don't know if you did what I did before John Wick 4 came out, but watched all the three John Wick movies all at once, and then and then went and saw John Wick 4.
Whole thing was a clusterfuck.
It's a lot of gunfire.
You know,
yeah.
No net run comes without a burn.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking I'll wait till it comes out on streaming. I've been going to the movies a lot lately, but
Somi's had occasional.
But that one I might have to skip. I think Trish went today to go see the new Kung Fu Panda.
But I'm sure she's headed where
I'm
wow.
like, oh, thank
Same
you for not dragging me. Thank you.
They made another one.
Thank you for going with your friend who you meet on Wednesdays to go. I'm glad I did not get dragged to the theater for that.
You don't want to have you don't want to listen to Jack Black for a couple hours?
Skadoosh. I think they actually put Skadoosh in the movie this time. That was the biggest fucking oversight. Was the trailer has him saying the catchphrase that's not in the first film.
It's not?
It's not.
Yeah.
A lot with marketing and other things, you know, but like it never fails to piss me off.
I've seen all this stuff with like shots and stuff that aren't in the movie because they don't have like a central character shot that's just like not good storytelling in the film. But
Song mentioned in
I've never, that's wild to me that they.
That whole catchphrase is just not in the first movie. I think they like put it in the second movie because it became a thing from the marketing of the first one.
I remember.
I don't know why. I think I've seen the first two.
Yeah.
No good reason. I think like didn't Angelina Jolie play the voice of a tiger in the second one?
Damn fork.
There were like other animals that he teamed up with. I don't remember.
Which way now?
Best movie I've seen this year. Civil War was pretty fucking good. Like I didn't think I would like that movie at all.
Yeah.
But it was truly a war movie, as the title implies, Civil War. But right up there with like Platoon and
Oh really?
Full Metal Jacket. And there's so much loud as fuck gunfights in this movie, kind of like John Wick, that it really was. It really felt like a war movie. I would say like if it's a war movie with its main center of focus on war journalism and what that does to people.
Oh,
okay. But that was really good. I think Love Lies Bleeding though might be my favorite movie so far this year. Had a lot of slow motion weightlifting, which also Iron Claw had, which I appreciated. I'm in my weightlifting phase, so
seeing a lot of yourself in these films.
I am, yeah. But Love Lies Bleeding was like really fucking good, and really bizarre at times. Like still doesn't explain itself in ways that I don't want to spoil, but it was good. I guess there was an alternate way we could have came, but this is the way that it wants us to go?
Two different ways?
It wants us to activate this? Oh, hey, look at that.
Yes.
Let's jump into the... What is this? Boiling oil? No, it's just water. Okay, get in. Or don't get in. Jump across.
Yeah, I just watched... I'd heard such good things about it forever, but I finally got around to watching Train to Busan.
Oh, fucking... Yes,
so
dude.
good.
Yeah.
Very, very cool movie.
That one is very cool. In the same vein as Train to Busan, someone had told me about One Shot of the Dead.
Huh.
Okay.
And that, because I think Train to Busan kind of has a gimmick to it, right? Like it's all one shot. No, that's not. That's One Shot of the Dead. I'm conflating, and it's even in the fucking title.
Okay. I mean, I think it's because it's like it all revolves around like trains. It's Korean, but it has, I wouldn't say like a big spin, but it has its little twist on zombies too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like the little twist on it.
One Shot of the Dead's twist is actually like how the filmmakers like are making this movie.
Huh.
But in a same vein, it's like, oh man, I really have not been happy with American horror for the last like decade, but Asian horror has still never let me down. And god damn it, they can still do zombie movies, right?
Yeah. You know, the probably last good American horror movie I saw was Barbarian.
Yes.
That was great.
Oh fuck yeah, I agree with you there. That was good. And some people bitch about A24. They don't like the format, or they think like maybe it's too similar how A24 produces their stuff. It's like, here's this thing that's weird and wacky, and here's this twist at the end. But man, they're the only ones doing horror right. I mean, I'm not into the Blumhouse stuff really, which now Blumhouse is like got a piece of almost every horror franchise out there. Like they're producing the Jason stuff now. It's fucking crazy. But yeah, the A24 stuff that is good when it's really fucking good, like with Barbarian, it's fucking great.
Yeah.
And I will say Love Lies Bleeding was up there. A good horror movie that I saw streaming recently, Derek turned me on to. Oh, no shit. I saw it in the theater. Was called Late Night with the Devil. And fully, like, realized, like, little indie movie, but the whole gimmick is, like, this is a 70s late night talk show. As if this guy were a rival to Johnny Carson. And for ratings, he needs to, like, boost his viewership, so he's gonna do some crazy shit. They're gonna have like a seance live on their show.
Oh,
nice.
That's the premise of this show. And then here's the television taping as it happened. So it's pretty cool.
Really?
I feel like all horror is almost like has a gimmick to it like that now, though.
Yeah, I think it's probably because it's hard to get like a big studio to like fund a good horror movie, so they gotta pitch indie and they gotta do cool stuff to like make up for the lack of budget.
Yeah. I think that's how
it's killing me.
Joker got made. Isn't the director and the writers like very open about how like the studios are only giving money to superhero shit? I wanted to make this psychological movie about a character, so the only way to get it done was I had to make him the Joker.
Nice.
And like that's the origin of that, which that sequel's about to come out soon.
Yeah, I'm curious about the sequel because the original movie, it's almost like a remake of is it like the fun? It's like the Comedian, I think it's called. I'm trying to remember the name.
That short stories. Brian would know better than I.
It's like a Jack Nicholson. No, it's like a Jack Nicholson movie.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's a movie with it's a Martin Scorsese. Is it Scorsese?
Yeah, I think it's Scorsese.
It is
the name
called
just
The
popped
Comedian.
out of my head.
Oh yeah.
But it's
like almost a remake.
Robert De Niro.
Yeah,
the King of
Robert De
Comedy?
Niro.
King of
sorry,
Comedy.
King of Comedy. There you go.
That's it. Exactly.
Really like close.
Super inspired by
like,
that, right?
Yeah, almost like I said, it's like almost a remake of that film. So I'm curious what this new film is going to be without having that like
as its backbone.
Yeah.
And do you know the gimmick? I'll say with the sequel.
I know they're singing. I know
Yeah,
it's got
like it's a
Lady
full-
Gaga in it.
It's a full-on musical. Is what I'm hearing. Like.
Nice.
Or I don't know, the definition on musical is like, okay, is it like Chicago style musical or Rocky Horror style musical? Like, are there scenes where they're not singing, or is everything singing? That I don't know, but
Yeah.
I'm interested nonetheless. Like, what could this be? Well, guys, I think we've said it all. I'm ending it how Howard Stern ends all his shows. You've said it all, Mason.
I think
We've
so.
done it all.
Too much
all.
maybe. I might have said too much.
We might have. But shouts out, the president, she looks safe to me. She's leading the charge here. I think we can safely say
Protect that prez.
we're all pretty, like, jazzed. I think around the table we've all kind of said, like, yeah, I think I'll go home and, like, start this up again.
I might, yeah.
Like, this game's pretty, even not in 4K and not with ray tracing on. Like, this game looks fucking great. Having the stat tree really opened up to where now we can boost, and the DLC has opened up this relic stat tree that didn't even exist before, where you can do all kinds of crazy ass shit.
Oh wow, okay.
Oh, that's wild.
The total like remapping of even just how like you can dress for fashion without sacrificing armor now, and like all the little perks. Like, this game is well past its play date. Like, it's truly here, folks. If you can pick up Cyberpunk, I definitely would Then again, you know, if Western RPGs and the first person aren't your thing, sorry.
Yeah.
Go play Final Fantasy Rebirth.
There you go.
But this, along with like everyone playing Fallout again and New Vegas again, I feel like
Dragon's Dogma 2 is
oh
apparently
yeah,
good, too.
that's huge, and
So,
like I don't know, I don't
you
think I'll
got
ever get into
options.
that.
Yeah, we're in
Gamers
a
got
year of
options.
RPGs for sure.
There's a lot of good stuff on the table. Sandland, I believe, is the only like recent, scheduled release that I'm excited about picking up physically, and that's like I think the 24th or the 28th. I will say too, out of nowhere, Akira Toriyama passes away. You know, rip rig, but I'm like waiting now, you know, with bated breath, like, oh, fucking, I knew that Sandland game was in production. Had no idea a show or what I think was eventually going to be a movie has been in production.
Oh, okay.
And is fucking out on Hulu. There's like all 6 or 7 episodes of Sandland are just
not Netflix.
There.
I'm so fucking happy.
So that's another, I was looking for like a new show to watch, and it's like, oh, fuck, right before the game. I mean, that's a short manga. It's one book.
Oh, okay.
It's the only reason I've read it. But the game's coming out, the fucking show's out now, so like I'm living in that Akira Toriyama like universe right now. With all that stuff on the horizon. So we'll be streaming that again soon.
Okay.
Mason and I are going to be meeting up playing Resident Evil. We're going to invite you, Brian.
Hell yeah.
Steamforged Games has got that Resident Evil 2 core set. Mwah! I'm almost done painting. It's a fun time. Oh, I bought all fucking doors to upgrade the plastic or the little like cardboard ones they give you too.
Okay.
So we open little doors and push the miniatures through them. It's fucking great. It really truly does feel like we were playing Leon and Claire last time.
Yeah.
And it feels like a campaign. Like we're communicating like, hey, here, give me some ammo. Oh, hold on, I'm gonna leave this for you in a crate.
That's cool.
And we have to get through this part of the game. I remember this part of the game. I feel like after we master 2, I'm gonna pick up this. They've made RE3 and originally they made RE1. So next week, I don't know if we're doing zombie side though. We're gonna maybe switch back and forth. Maybe a little more Card Wars. We'll see.
We mix it up.
We mix it up every week.
Maybe we'll just paint.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. You want to get together and just paint miniatures?
Always good.
It's relaxing.
Yeah.
But thank you, Brian, as always, for being here with me. Thank you. Huge shout out, Mason. At Digital Mace on Twitter is where they can find you.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I've been talking about this for years. Honestly, I think a year ago I was like, hey, I want you to come on the PPS when we play Cyberpunk. Because it was when we were still playing tabletop.
Yeah, I think, we had just started like, oh, it's like, we should do this
We
on
should
the
do
stream.
this. And then
we
I
finally did it.
I had to wait, though, because I was like, I'm going to play this DLC soon. So I finally got off my ass, purchased it, and started it. And now I think I'm putting Rebirth on the back burner because, like, I'm having more fun with this.
Not surprised.
So anyone have any final words before we jettison?
No, thanks for having me.
Yeah,
thanks.
thanks.
For the chat and the people who called, man. I saw a bunch of good questions. Yeah, totally. Such a good time.
I hope we can get to them all, and we sure will next week. If you didn't get in, give us another one next week because we're always here on a hot Wednesday night.
On our ding-a-ling.
You know it, brother. See you next time. Goodbye.
Au revoir.
Yeah.
Brother, big dude. Big dude, brother, big dude.
Is there anyone jacking off to this right now?
12-year-old in the United States. Show me the neighborhood where a 12-year-old kid doesn't know what a pair of balls are. A pair of...
Fuck. Thanks. Am I on the air?
Brother!
Yeah.
Ow!
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, in other words, I know there's a good side to ICP. That's why I can run it and sing Clown Posse album with full karma, release it and go promote it and feel good about it. Because I know that there's positivity in our music. But our own record label, just like the rest of America, thinks that we're just all negative and we're responsible for Columbine and things like that, and they still put the records out. See, they never asked us to define these lyrics. Exactly. You think they would if they really cared? They'd say, wait a minute, we're a giant corporation. Define these lyrics before we put this out.
Whoop, whoop,
Monday,
motherfuckers.
we'll talk with shock rocker Marilyn Manson as part of a...
Yeah.